Push towards that title.
The old adage is that momentum is about the next guy headed to the hill. With the Turks, that's J.R. Holloway. J.R. has done a decent job of on the back half of the season, looking pretty darn good. So hopefully that trend will continue. The Jacks will send Phil Stokes to the mound. Stokes' last outing was a loss here at Eagle Field against the Turks.
Yeah, he pitched on Saturday, 2-0 win for the Turks. 8-inning game. He only went 5 innings. He was out 7 hits, no walks, only 1 strikeout. But we'll see what the Turks can do. Covington sent a lefty to the mound to start all 3 ball games this series, and they've done a pretty good job stifling the Turks. Even Kurajansky, game 1, did a great job. The Turks just found a way to win.
Well, I definitely agree with the strategy. I mean, I made that clear that even if they had a lefty that hadn't started, just been a lefty reliever all year, this might be the night to push him to the hill, because the Turks have struggled against lefties, which is really kind of surprising, because I know Thomas Smith he's a lefty raker. He's really jumping on lefties, something fierce. Rose is going to swing lefties too, but a lot of times, if you can dominate the bottom half of the order, and for the Turks, it's Christopher Barr had a couple of hits last night against a lefty, so it wasn't that, but we'll see. The Turks lineup looks just a little bit different. As far as batting order, Kelfleisch is going to be the left fielder, not the designated hitter.
Batting order is the same, just a change of defensive position.
Tchaikovsky is going to be the designated hitter, and he's not going to be the right field. Barr moves back over to the right, and Kelfleisch is going to be in the left field. So, other than that, but here at home, I think winning percentage-wise, I think the Turks were actually better on the road during the regular season.
Yeah, they were.
Smidge.
That big win streak, or that big run where they won 12 out of 14. That was when they had 9 or 10 games on the road too. So we'll see what they can do. And of course, so far the home team has won every game. So hopefully that trend continues tonight. They can finally figure something out against this left field.
So the other ball games going on in the Valley League are pivotal as well. A couple of elimination games, obviously in a 3-game series. Charlestown and Stanton, you better bring your run scoring to that game. Sometimes 5 won't get it done. And 5 would have lost you both games in that series. So Charlestown is down at Stanton. The 5 versus the 4 in that one. Charlestown swept the Turks during the regular season, which is very odd. At a 30-win team was swept by anyone. But the Cannons have a nice offensive ball club, and hard to say if you're able to make it through who you want to end up playing. But the Turks have the luxury of getting the lower remaining seed if they're able. So if the Turks get by the Lumberjacks, the 8 seed, they would play Strasburg.
Anybody's an option but Front Royal.
Yeah, Front Royal is the only one that we wouldn't play in the next round. So if Strasburg upsets Front Royal, it would be the Turks and Strasburg, because they're the highest remaining 6 in this case. Highest remaining seed in this case. The 6th seed of the 5-4 matchup, Charlestown and Stanton. So
you'd almost like it to see Front Royal did win and Charlestown won as well. Not necessarily just automatically pick the lowest seed, but almost make it like a draft. Like let the high seed get to choose. They would like to play in the semifinals.
That would add some intrigue. Definitely would, because if you think you match up against a team, that becomes bulletin board material for them. So hey, they want us. That sort of miss you a little bit. Yeah. I think that from the totally greedy perspective, which I can often get into every now and then, I would like to see whichever offensive kind of minded teams. Obviously, with Charlestown and Stanton, those are 2 teams really built on offense. One of them is going to be eliminated. We know that. But the ideal situation for the Turks is for Strasburg to upset Front Royal, because Front Royal is probably the best balanced team in the whole league, offense and pitching wise. And then, really Stanton was a team that the Turks match up better with than Charlestown. So Strasburg upsetting Front Royal and Stanton basically holding serve against Charlestown would be the ideal scenario from my perspective. But job number one, you've got to beat the little engine that could, and they're called the Covington Lumberjacks. They're a team that's kept their lineup together fairly well, and they definitely can do some damage. They can steal a base, have just enough power to keep you honest, and they've been getting adequate pitching here down the stretch. They struggled with a lot of teams that they look to me to be better than, and they're not your typical 8 seed. And we're not just saying that because they got the win last night. We've been saying that for 2 weeks now.
They put up a lot of energy too. They have a younger coach who kind of just gets them riled up, and he seems to have them well disciplined and respecting him well and whatnot. And I think that plays a lot into it too. He seems like a fun guy to play for.
Yeah, and they're loose and they're having fun. And the Turks wanted Albie. The Turks definitely wanted Albie.
He came out and said that in the interview.
Yeah, and it's just Covington. When I saw him before Game 1, and the Turks won Game 1, he said they were worried, and I said, well, what in particular worries you, Coach? And he said they're way too loose for a team. They're way too comfortable with us, and way too loose for a team that should be at a disadvantage. And he's proven to be right. Hopefully we'll get a good-sized crowd here. There's a threat of rain, say like 10:30 or 11 o'clock. That was the last time I checked. But, hopefully it won't play a part in this whole thing. Tomorrow looks like it could be some weather issues in the Valley League. But for both these teams, Covington and Harrisonburg, you got to live to fight another day if we can worry about what the Weather Channel has to say. That's the Andover, Massachusetts weather. I don't think we want that, Joe. Oh, you got to switch up. Okay, good. You've been everywhere, man. You're like Johnny Cash for a 20-year-old.
Yeah. I've been really lucky. I actually just, I'm really excited about this. Growing up, I was a big Derek Jeter fan.
You're a Red Sox fan.
I'm a Red Sox fan, right?
What's the word for that? Blasphemy? Is that what
I was actually a Yankees fan when I was a really young kid.
Oh, so that's the ultimate blasphemy.
Well, here's where it goes. I was Derek Jeter for 2 years for Halloween, and the Red Sox do this thing where they introduced it this year. College students can buy $9 standing room tickets.
Right.
So me being smarter than the average college student as a baseball fan, Derek Jeter's last game of his career is at Fenway Park. Mm-hmm. The minute those college tickets went live, I went on there and just bought a $9 ticket.
I'm sure those Beantown fans will rain the booze down on him.
I'll find a way to
parading their ignorance up and down the Yawkey Way.
I'll get a ticket and find a way to get up there eventually. My dad was in town this weekend, and he said he had an abnormally large amount of airline points from all his business travel, so he booked me a flight to Boston for that weekend to see Derek Jeter.
Yeah, that happened all the time with my dad. That happened all the time with my dad.
I guess it pays to travel so much.
Yeah, it definitely, when you get the chance to travel when you're young, you certainly have to do it. And anytime there's baseball on the other end. And, to me, the triangle, the holy trinity, when you can involve baseball, great food, and, someplace you've never been, that's kind of a good thing. And I think anytime you can involve some music in that as well, that's always a winning play.
No vacation in my family is set without looking for places to eat. We might take food more seriously than the location we're actually going. We're big into the triple Ds, the diners, dives, the drive-ins, or I said that in the right order, but
one of the things I don't like about those shows is that whether it's Adam Richmond or Guy Fieri, they like everything.
Yeah, they do. They never.
And that bugs me.
Yeah.
That bugs me. When you like everything, I kind of question. Every now and then you got to say to a guy, "Your chili is just okay." That's it. Don't trash it. When you like everything, there's something wrong with that. It's like saying that, here's our guy at the bottom of the order. He's hitting 120. He's having a great season.
I do agree with that because the flavor, the salt level is just perfect in this chili.
Yeah.
You just grilled that to perfection. But we've never really been disappointed in triple D. I mean, some of them mediocre, but the closest one to here, the Virginia Diner down in Wakefield, that's a triple D.
One of the haunts from my childhood, mainly because it was right next to Pete's Pool Hall in Annapolis, was Chicken Roost Deli. They had Chicken Roost Deli on diners, drive-ins, and dives. And they're home of this gigantic milkshake. They also have got some of the best subs in the world, a true Jewish deli with great subs and sandwiches. And they're open 23 hours a day. And every morning, Teddy Levitt will raise the flag, and everyone pauses, and they sing the national anthem. And then they have the Pledge of Allegiance another time of day. They're not kidding around. Chicken Roost Deli is where it's at.
One of the best ones I've been to is in Baltimore, Sip and Bite.
I've heard of it. Never been there. Yeah. Can't go wrong with that. Kind of overcast here at the ballpark so far. Probably about 10 minutes from our first pitch here tonight. Let's take a look at our lineups. We got the Covington lineup here out of the gate. Blake Edwards will be at shortstop. Jose Carrera will swing second. He is at second. Matt O'Neill, the designated hitter, will swing third. Brent McCallum in left field will bat cleanup. Aiden Platt at first base had a key hit last night. I'm not mistaken. Jonathan Flores in right field will bat sixth. Demetrius Moore patrolling center field will bat seventh. Shane Castro, the catcher, will bat eighth. Bernard Brito is at third base. He will bat ninth. That looks like a carbon copy lineup to me.
I think there's exactly correct.
Yeah. Phil Stokes, the lefty, to the hill.
Phil Stokes. It's only his third appearance of the season, so 2 of his 3 appearances will be against the Turks. Last appearance was the last game of the Turks regular season. 2-0 loss so far this season. He's 0-1, 4.5 ERA in those 2 games. He started 1 game and closed 1 game. He has a save and a loss. 8 innings pitched total, 4 strikeouts, just 1 walk. So doesn't walk many guys. Of course, he didn't walk any in the Turks game. And in that Turks game, he went 5 innings, on 2 runs, both earned 7 hits.
He's kind of a pitch to contact guy. 1 strikeout. But when you have a low strikeout number, but you're not walking anyone, you can actually have your walks and hits per innings still stay pretty low. Even though you're a finesse pitcher.
Definitely.
3 umpire crew. A couple of guys it's good to see moving around down there for the Turks. Jesse Baker is in uniform, ready to go. He's not in the starting lineup, but definitely important to have Jesse ready to go. It's a pinch hitter or late game replacement. He's had some of the biggest hits of the Turks regular season. No question about that. And Joey Roach took batting practice as well, so maybe Joey will get a shot to do a little something.
You said both of those guys moved around well, but the lineup remains the same for the Turks tonight. Leading off, playing second base, Thomas Smith, batting second, playing center field, Thomas Spitz, batting third at first, Daniel Nichols, batting cleanup, playing third base, Matt Rose got 2 hits in the game last night, batting fifth, playing left field, Eric Kaufleisch. Kaufleisch hasn't been a lot of designated hitter lately. They put Kowski there tonight, still sitting in the 6th hole. Chris Barr batting 7th, playing right field. Richard Matulia behind home plate, batting 8th, and Stephen McLean batting 9th at shortstop and on the mound for the Turks. It's righty from Duke J.R. Holloway.
Holloway on the season, he's got that prototypical pitcher size. He's definitely someone who
might be a lot of Tanner Shelton in the field, very similar.
Yeah, Tanner. Yeah, really thick legs guys, so drop and drive pitchers, if you will. I'm still doing my 40 clicks to get where I want to get on the regular season stats. We'll get to some numbers on Shelton here coming up. Elimination night here in the Valley League. 3 teams are going to be done. 3 teams will move on. Waynesboro Generals have already swept their series, so they're waiting for an opponent to be figured out for them too.
Holloway's base up to the team slow putting the stats portion of it.
Actually, if you got that, you would have had it all. So I don't think they have any stats loaded for them. Get another of the Duke pitchers. Turks had a 6-game winning streak snapped last night with the loss to Covington. So hoping to begin maybe a 5-game winning streak to close the season right now.
Let's do it. Holloway 1-1 on the season. Doesn't have a 6.07 ERA. This will be 7th appearance, 6th start, 19 strikeouts in the 16.
Coming time for you to join us out here if you're in the local area. I think it's going to threat of rain until late this evening after the ball game, or maybe very late in the game. Seeing what you lose down there. The Lumberjacks have survived 1 elimination game, and the Turks are hoping to match them with that at least.
Covington did seem to travel well for being about 2 hours away. Of course, for the game last night, they made a nice announcement that they'll pay admission for any Covington fans, and I think most Covington fans we've seen here at the park this season. About 7 of us last year in Covington.
Now, Matt Weiss is over here doing the video side to our right. I think it's next season that Weiss Auto certainly got a pony up for road tickets. Or you pay for one guy and a whole bunch of cardboard cutouts.
You take a one.
And when you go on the road with Matt, there's a couple things that are certain. You're nearly going to get ejected. Okay, you know that. You know if you get ugly early. You know, you got the worst angle in the house, but you somehow argue balls and strikes until you. That's going to help you. Well, another thing is just shame and embarrassment.
It was a fun car ride.
Yeah, we did. And I still don't remember that. I'm still in my head. We wouldn't have been at the Mexican sub shop on South Main Street. The substation? The substation. There it is. Yes. Finally. I literally haven't been there in a couple of years now. My wife and I are certainly going to have to make it.
I'm going to have to go back. It was good.
It was very good. Everything circles back.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you please rise as we do Honor America as Dave Adrian, local business manager of Fisher Auto Parts on South Main Street, sings tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red where the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Next year, Dave Laker on the national anthem. Well done. Turks fans and Jacks fans definitely like that one, Joe.
Very good national anthem.
Sometimes they'll just boo and hiss and just ridicule.
It's been a while since we've had a solo vocal performance from an older person. A lot of times it's a Harrisonburg High School student or just a recent graduate in college somewhere.
Yeah, I gotta give them credit. It's usually a lot of these kids that are going off to, to study music in college and things like that. So they've got the song in their heart, Joe. It just brings a tear on.
We've had an ODU music student. We've had a JMU music student. We've had a student from William & Mary. I don't know if William & Mary have a music program.
I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah.
They'll have equal sports team and music. But no archery. A lot of archery. Kind of like these little dangerous here at St. John. J.R. Holloway taking his team of tosses. Never a better time for J.R. to have his best outing of the year. Turks are down to a limited number of arms. I think we've got 9 that can actually go now. Unfortunately, little lefty Kevin Llewellyn is trying to soldier it up and see at the end of the regular season if he was going to be able to go. But he had to go home, so it's one of those things where you got to do the right thing for the young player. And doesn't always work out to the team's advantage, but every team's been dealt themselves a couple of late season things that it's got to overcome. I know missing the big play space and Nick out on the road is certainly a big deal for Covington.
I think the first inning here will be the key to the Turks. The first inning defensively last night, they went 1-2-3 in the top of the first, and then Covington put up 3 runs in the bottom of the first, and Turks only scored 2 of the game. So technically they're out of the game of the night. So they're playing comeback baseball for 8 innings, and it just kind of dull feeling, kind of a dead feeling. They never had momentum once, so it's going to be key to get momentum early tonight. Hold them 1, 2, 3 here, and then get some runs in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, I think breaking through that 5-run barrier against the Jacks is a must for the Turks. Give Holloway some run support.
Yeah, 7 games, they've only scored 5 runs or more once.
Lined out to shortstop by McLean in the left field for a base knock. So good fastball spanked through the 5.5 hole there by Blake Edwards. And the Jacks are off and running here in the first. It's going to bring up Jose Carrera, the left side of Jose, the switch hitter.
Edwards was 2 for 4 last night and 1 for 4 in the first ball game. So he's now 4 for 9 so far in this first series.
331 on the regular season for Jose. Fastball missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Edwards with a pretty good sized lead over there at first. Holloway deals way outside. Holloway and Matulia, the Turks battery. Down the diamond from third to first. Rose at third, McLean at shortstop, Smith at second, and Nichols at first. 2 balls, no strikes to Jose Carrera. Holloway deals. Hop down the left field line, twisting in the foul territory. Keldfleisch on the run, and he makes the catch. What a great play by Keldfleisch. Heading into the wall. He got about 15 feet between the foul line and the wall. See if he's all right. He kind of banged it pretty good. Chain link fence covered with a tarp there. Good play by Eric. Very important out right there. So now here comes O'Neill with 1 out. Holloway, all 6'4", 220 of them. We haven't seen the slide step from him yet. Still using the full windup. Long on and missed. Whether that's a sinker or change or something, that seemed to have some fall to it.
Edwards not getting too big a lead over there at first. 21 steals in the regular season and 1 so far in this playoff series.
0-1 pitch, swung on and missed. A high fastball, a little high and in. And O'Neill tardy on the cut. No balls and 2 strikes. This series has featured a bunch of double play balls. Both pitching staffs. There goes the runner. Pitches inside for a ball. Throw to second. It is not in time. A nice stolen base by Blake Edwards. And with 1 out, he's in scoring position. Pitch was inside.
Not much chance there for Matulia. Does kind of have a weaker arm. But Edwards was second before the throw even got to Smith.
1-2 pitch. Hop foul right side. Holloway trying to put one on that outside edge. O'Neill with 6 home runs on the year, so you want to stay out of his sweet spot. Grant McCown on deck for the Jacks. 1 out, top of the first inning, just underway here in Harrisonville. 1-2 from Holloway. Low and outside. Matulia handles it. Mitch had a devil of a time behind the plate last night. Really didn't handle some pitches. I don't know that maybe one of those guys came around to score, but the Jacks had runners on the base paths majority of the night. The Turks were just a little sloppy in a lot of areas. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled right side over into the lower concourse area on the right side.
If I remember correctly, I don't think there was 1, 2, 3 inning defensively for the Turks. There may have been, only one that may not have been one would have been the 8th inning for sure. So, but I still think he had like a leadoff walk or walk mixed in there.
2 balls and 2 strikes. J.L. Holloway gives Edwards a glance, and he deals. Foul back to the screen again. O'Neill having a scrappy at bat. The swings don't need to look pretty. You're fooled with one and can get a piece on it, stay alive. That's all that matters. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blake Edwards at second with good speed. Both middle infielders bird dogging him back to the bag a little. 2-2 from Holloway. Grounded out towards shortstop. 1 hop for McLean. Throw to first is in time. Nice backhanded play by McLean. The 1 hop grounder kind of hit off the end of the bat. initially a little tough to read. But very important out. Edwards couldn't go anywhere with the ball right in front of him. That'll bring up the count. Right-hand swinger on the count. Popped up right side into foul territory. Nichols and Matulia over, and Matulia can't make the catch in front of the Covington dugout. Got a glove on it, kind of circled back. Got a glove on it, definitely one that could have been either player's ball, first baseman or the catcher. Certainly someone's got to get under that and catch it. Scored an error on Matulia. 2 balls and 1 strike. Turks had 3 miscues last night and several pass balls. Best thing about last night is that it was last night. Over and done with. 0-1. Hit hard and foul out of play right side. No balls and 2 strikes, and Holloway definitely being aggressive with his fastball and slider. No balls and 2 strikes. JR comes set. Looks at Edwards. Short lead by Edwards. 0-2 slider. Hit out towards center field. Thomas Spitz glides in a little, and he makes the squeeze for out number 3. So runner on the left on for the Lumberjacks. And the Turks will get their first swing of the night. Good to see Jim Barr's back in town, Joe. He's certainly going to take in as much of Christopher's games this summer as he can. Sat out in dead center field there at Casey Field last night. He said he tapped there at the BP, and figured it was such a good city he just stayed there.
He might be the only parent left in town now. Good to see him back. We said I think it's his 3rd stint with the Turks per se. 3rd time he's come to see a few games. Nice to see him in Covington.
Taking it all in. Legacy Turks. I think that as the years go on, we'll have more and more of those. We'll get so many of these players that either siblings or in this case sons. Hey, Dad played here, and he come back and play. It's a great story. See if the Turks can continue to do some damage here against Bill Stokes. They got only 2 runs last time. Stokes pitched out of trouble. But they did get 7 hits in 5 innings, and the way the Turks can put the extra base hits on you. Very seldom when the Turks have 7, 2 or 3 of those are extra base hits. Just 2 home runs here this summer for the Turks. Christopher Barr hit 1, and let's see, Nichols hit 1. Both of them to right field, and that is just surprising. There's a few stats with this year's team that if I only saw those stats, I'd say, my goodness, we had a 22 and 22, maybe an 18 and 26 kind of year.
You can have a home run to left field.
The stolen base number way down. The earned run average more than a run higher, and only 2 home runs at home. Those are the only stats I saw to go along with 67 errors. You're like, whoa, what the heck happened? But they've offset it with equally impressive numbers. A boatload of doubles. Really, the best back half of the ball game team I've seen in a long, long time. So many close games broken up in the late innings by the Turks bats. Very good relief pitching. Anytime you got a reliever with 5 wins, that means you came back a whole bunch of times when he was on the hill. And when you add in the number of saves that Logan Onda had, he was right up there at the top of my relief pitcher All Valley League ballot because nobody really had someone play a part in a third of their wins.
Leading off from the Turks, the second baseman, the 13th.
He led the league in wins as a reliever.
As a reliever.
And it's not like he blew those games and they came back. A lot of them came to tie ball games or came in a losing situation.
Yeah, it takes some things to happen. Good pitching sets you up.
There was one that he did blow and then they came back and won, and that was the game where he the walk-off sack fly.
That was one, yeah. Mokri and Onda with the bats that night. Here comes Smith to lead it off. First pitch to Thomas. Strike on the outside corner. Good location on the offering from Phil Stokes. Stokes from stretch. No one on. This is outside. No balls and one strike. One ball and one strike. Pitch to Smith. Hit out towards center, pretty deep. Moore on the run, and he makes a running catch. Great speed and a good jump by Demetrius Moore. Hit the dead center field, from the toughest to judge for center fielders. Got on his horse, looking back over that left shoulder the whole way. He makes the squeeze about 385 from home plate for out number one. Smith gave it a poke. Comes Thomas Spitz now. Castro setting up inside. Hit the glove, but he was inside with it the whole time. One ball, no strikes. Stokes to Spitz. Hit hard out towards shortstop. Backhanded by Edwards. Go to first is in time. Just does get Spitz. 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Daniel Nichols.
And in third,
Isn't that what you pointed out to us last night for the playoff series? The 3 umpires remain the same for the whole series, and they just rotate positions on the field. So it's been the same crew from game 1 to game 3 now.
Stokes deals to Nichols. Swung on and missed. The balls and 1 strike to Daniel Nichols. Georgia Bulldog. Strike 2. Good location there. About South Purple high on the inner edge of the plate with a fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 good plays by the Jacks defense here for outs 1 and 2. Missed outside. Castro set up kind of in the right-hand batter's box. Good 0-2 pitch. See if you can get a guy to chase one, get himself out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on for the Turks here in the bottom half of the first frame. Breaking ball chopped down toward first, taken in foul territory just outside the bag by Hayden Platt. Fouled by a couple of feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nichols, who'll dig back in there. One, 2, low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matt Rose on deck, and what we saw last night, Joe, the trend with Rose let off a whole bunch of innings, and that's just not what you want to have happen with such a run producer. See if Nichols can reach here. 2-2 pitch, foul back to the screen, fought off a nice fister of a pitch on the inside. Stokes looking into Castro for a sign, shakes him off a couple of times. Now Nichols steps out. Stokes comes set now. 2-2, and he deals to Nichols. Hopped up left side of the infield. Brito is under it, and he makes the catch. Now for number 3. So 1, 2, 3. The Turks go down. At the top of the second inning, scoreless ballgame. Harrisonburg hosting the Covington Lumberjacks. Round 1 of the Valley League playoffs. Series is tied at 1.
South Main Street, Harrisonburg. A great place to shop for a quality pre-owned vehicle.
Look at this picture. Jamie, nothing but it's crazy. I didn't realize how hilly it was back then.
Well, that's how it is on the on the west side. You have Low Hill and now through the
Here's the football stadium. East Campus, UREF. Is the lake man-made?
Yeah.
Leading off for the Lumberjacks, first baseman Hayden Platt.
Top of the second inning, Hayden Platt leads off for the Lumberjacks. Platt, Flores, and Moore are due. Holloway deals. Slider in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike.
A lot of Covington's production was spread out last night as 6 different guys got hits, and all 4 of their runs were RBIs from 4 different people. But Platt was one of those guys with an RBI single. 1 for 3 night.
Fastball low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the third, up in front, Royal. The Cardinals lead Strasburg 1-0. That game started at 7. Scoreless just underway in Stanton, Charlestown and Stanton. Fastball, called a ball inside, and he did go around the check swing. Got that one right for sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I always look at the hitter reaction after that, and if he doesn't make any fuss, then he knows he went too. So.
Yep, that's true. He's trying to. All the hitters are trying to whistle Dixie on that one. Breaking ball, sweeps outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Flat from Broward Community College. 2-2 pitch grounded into left field for a base knock. So back-to-back leadoff singles to left here in the first and the second for the Jacks. Will we see some small ball here? Possibly. Runs have been at a premium. 3-1 Turks in game 1, 4-2 Jacks. And game 2. Holloway deals. Swung on and missed. Flores made his mind up to get a sharp cut on that one. Chased it a little high and tight. Oh, 1 pitch. Popped up foul, right side. Wind's blowing out to left field so far tonight. Say about 5 or 10 miles an hour, probably closer to 10. Good size dimensions here at Eagle Field. Biggest field in the Valley League. 330 down the left field line, 320 down the right field line with a 16-foot high wall that extends from the corner to the deep right center alley. 400 to dead center field. 0-2 slider hit out towards second base. Smith has got it to McLean for 1. On to first. That's a double play. 4-6 lead in filling by the Turks middle infielders.
As good as you can turn one right there.
And here comes Demetrius Moore. Right-handed swinger for Point Park. As is Nolan Kubajanski, that the Turks have seen couple of times.
Well, JUCO there in Pittsburgh.
Swung on and missed. I think that might just be a straight change. Good looking pitch there. Takes some speed off of it despite all the arm action. Usually has guys out in the front. Over the top line. Fastball missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch now straight back to the screen on a fastball. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Shane Castro on deck for the Jacks. Holloway deals. Slider foul back to the screen. Right on those last couple.
We talked about the past few days about Moore too. He's had a pretty slow bat speed. Just not being able to catch up to the fastball. Scherzer last night, Castellanos the night before.
Castellanos was, he looked like a double-A guy the other night. He was really pumping. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball stays up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Win or your season is over. That's the subtext for tonight's game. 2-2 pitch hit out towards second. Smith takes it on 1 hard hop for the first in time. So 1-2-3 inning for the Turks. Season number 1-2 came as part of a 4-6-3 double play. It faces the middle. Hit for the bottom of the second inning. Glad to have you listening. Is it the final game of the season? We hope not here in Turks Nation. Back in a minute, more Turks baseball.
20 numbers are 150. Last 3 numbers on your game ticket: 150 and 115. 150 and 115. Again, either one of those 20 numbers.
Yeah, the thing you pointed out earlier, the typographical errors jump out and tap you on the forehead like they do with me. That's awful.
I mean, I get
First line of.
I get like sometimes if it's in like the middle of an article and it's small because it's long. I mean, I don't get it, but I do. But that's like the first line. It's
The other one that gets me is,
and everyone notices it.
yeah, T-O and T-O-O, B-U-I and B-Y. It's
There, your.
Yeah, your. Just, it shows that someone they're doing spell check, grammar check, and not read check. Eyeball check.
Yeah. I can join you. I just made an eBay sale in the middle of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I said I can join you. I just made an eBay sale in the middle of the game. I just put a Celtics warm-up suit on today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It was worth like $10. I'm not up for 40.
You didn't have the cha-ching, man. You're a poser.
It was all that talk in the car last night. I stole all your tips.
I had a Celtics 80s style jacket that I sold a little while ago. The green satin.
Yeah,
That style?
It's heavy, whatever material is. It's heavy.
Yeah, I sold mine for $78, and I paid $3. Hello. Daddy loves them yard sale. And I don't go to many. I will eventually. I think in a weird way I'm auditioning for what my retirement job is going to be.
Yeah.
Because I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's fun. And the insolvency of Social Security, I have to be very concerned anyway. Bottom of the second inning. Speaking of Rose, Matt Rose will lead it off for the Turks. Bill Stokes comes set and deals. Way high with ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Rose has been the one-man wrecking crew for the Turks offense. And the front 3, whoever it's been during the course of the year, has really set the table throughout the year. Fastball pops the ball for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike for Rose. Matt can hit some BBs. One pitch. Outside for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Rose, Eric Kelfleisch, and Luke Chakowski do for the Turks here. Two-one pitch. Hit out to left center, hanging up though, going to be playable, and caught by Drake McCown.
Hung up just a bit too much, but definitely got some good top spin on that line drive.
I think this kind of matchup, Joe, this lefty-lefty matchup for Kelfleisch, this is really going to be the measuring stick for him.
Mm-hmm.
We know he's going to hit righties, especially guys that throw hard, but if he can manage to hit lefties, he really is a prospect. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That's exactly what Phil Stokes and most lefties have to do. Throw, strike early in the count with a big sweeping breaking ball. From there, you can sort of dictate the pitches. 0-1. Way short of the plate there. I'd say 55-footer. That was more like 46.
That may have been one of the shortest pitches I've ever seen. That was not someone falling off on the mound.
Or 50 Cent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we need a moratorium on celebrity first pitches, or at least an audition. I need to see an audition before these.
George Bush had a good one at Nationals Park.
1-1 to Kelfleisch, way over his head to the backstop, and Luke LaLoosh. The only missing there was a mascot that gets plunked. He certainly has Kelfleisch's attention, and Castro too, as he heads to the hill. Kelfleisch's expression in the batter's box said everything.
He's just laughing with the umpire right now. I think Carly Rae Jepsen, didn't she have a good one too? The Call Me Maybe singer. I think she threw like a 2-foot pitch right down the ground.
Wow. There definitely is some auditions. Because no one auditioned Carl Lewis to sing the national anthem, clearly.
You seen that one of that hockey where the woman forgets the national anthem, walks back, slips on the ice.
Yes. 2-1 pitch to Kelfleisch, outside for a ball, 3-1.
He clearly just doesn't have footing or something. Get no leverage on any of those pitches.
Well, he looked fine in the first inning.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, 1, 2, 3 first, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, if you go to the next batter, Rose.
I tell you, I used to hate when if I was pitching, I never liked a big hole in front of the pitcher's plate, and your opposite number might like that. Pitch to Kelfleisch, hit hard down the first, blocked nicely into the bag by Hayden Flack, and Kelfleisch is out number 2. If I like to fill the hole in at least 90% of the way. You have just a little bit of a dip, but if the opposite guy, he wants to dig out 3 inches, you spend the better part of the ball game filling that hole in.
When I pitch, I like the big old hole. I just sink my right foot in.
No thanks. So 2 outs now. Here comes Luke Chakowski. This should be a pretty good matchup for Luke. Fastball in there for strike 1. No ball from 1 strike. That may be the most heat I've seen from Stokes right there. Pretty good blow. There's a Luke chant going here by the Turks fan. Like that. 0-1 pitch. Short hops to plate again. 1 ball, 1 strike. No change on the BBL scoreboard. 1-0 front Royal over Strasburg. They're in the 4th now. Everyone's tacked an inning on since the last update. The night of elimination games.
3 of them. When we talked, we thought there'd only be 1.
Top out towards second base. Carrera comes in. And Jose makes the squeeze for number 3. So 1-2-3 innings for Phil Stokes and the Covington Lumberjacks. And we're quickly into the 3rd inning. Scoreless. Harrisonburg hosting Covington. Game 3. Do or die for both these clubs here in round 1 of the VBL playoffs.
Are a lot of the other managers just college coaches who just stay somewhere in that city too, just to manage, or is it local guys?
Say that again?
Are a lot of the other managers of teams, is it guys from that town, or is it college coaches who spend their summer doing this too?
I'm surprised you don't see many local coaches. You hardly see any local coaches.
So he's probably a college assistant somewhere or something.
I think a lot of it has to do with the coaches here don't necessarily, you don't want to bring in a high school coach for one thing, and the coaches here want to get away, and the coaches there want to get away.
Leading off will be the catcher number 31, Castro.
Top of the third inning, bottom of the order for the Jacks, Shane Castro, Bernard Brito, and then back to the top for Blake Edwards. 2 hits for the Jacks, and they had a base knock to left each time. Fastball missed outside from J.R. Holloway. Maybe it won't be the heart of the orders that do the damage. Maybe it'll be the team that gets a little something from the bottom of their order. Always a blessing when you get something. Fastball missed outside, 2-0. Two-0 pitch to Castro. Swung on, fouled right there at the plate. Like a pretty good heater that was headed for the outside corner. Two balls and 1 strike. Slider just missed on the inside. 3 balls and 1 strike in. Haven't seen anyone play any small ball at this point, surprisingly. 3-1, popped up, left side of the infield. McLean is back at shortstop, makes the call and the catch for out number 1. This is the time of year where you start looking at your roster and saying, well, which guys would be able to come back? And then which guys we think are on that kind of upward trend that will come back and be better and all of that. And we certainly have a handful every summer. Comes Brito now. Hopped out towards center field. Thomas Spitz moves over about 10 feet to his left. And he makes the squeeze for out number 2. Holloway threw a pretty decent number of pitches in the first inning, so this might be one of those innings where he balances things back out again as far as pitching.
So far, it's been the best start to the inning, both in the first and second inning. He did surrender a leadoff single. So far, he's retired the first 2 hitters in this inning.
Back to the top of the order for Edwards, who started it off with a little bingo single to the left. Fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Jose Carrera on deck. If you find someone in the Valley League who's not a Jose Carrera fan, I haven't met him yet. Just an energy-filled, talented player. And that would be true if he was 7 feet tall or 5 feet tall. Fastball missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 to Edwards. Low for a ball. 3-0, close one there. You've had what looks like a tight zone so far, but I think it's tight because it's right.
Like last night, too, it felt the same way.
Mm-hmm. Ball 4 inside.
So still yet to be a 1-2-3 inning in the last 11 innings played by the Turks. Definitely 12 innings, too, because the underdog scored 9th inning in game 1.
Yeah, that's just not a trend that we've seen. The pitching would normally get on a little bit of a roll. Pitch to Carrera, high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Edwards already has 1 steal in the game here. One pitch. Strike on the outside corner. No strikeouts for either pitcher yet. Definitely been pitching to the contact. Bluff play, quick throw to first, and Edwards nearly got caught leaning, dives back in there. One ball, one strike, two outs. Runner at first base for the Jacks. Good speed though. 1-1. Down and in, 2-1 to Carrera. Matt O'Neill on deck for the Jacks. Two-one pitch, hop foul. Third base side will go 2-2. Scoreless ball game. Top of 3.
Always let us know if you're listening in, especially I know a lot of parents aren't in the house for the playoffs. Just send us a tweet using hashtag TurksNation. Let us know where you're listening from and what you're up to. We're thankful that you guys are tuned in. Hopefully, we get at least one more night with us.
Usually the silent listeners out there are the coaches. You got a lot of coaches tracking their players' summer progress too. Usually don't tweet in, but we know they're out there. 2-2 pitches outside, throw down towards second is not in time. Closer there, Edwards definitely stole that off Holloway. We really don't see Holloway using any kind of slide step or anything like that. He uses a conventional leg kick. He does try and speed it up, but unlike a lot of pitchers who will go to a slide step.
That's Edwards, the second steal of the game, third of the playoffs, 21 during the regular season.
Getting it done. 3-2 pitch to Carrera. Grounded out towards second base. Smith has got it. Through the first in time. So good work by J.R. Holloway. Continues to reduce his ground balls. You can see it. He's being hard on himself. He's kind of shaking his head a little. He knows he's just not quite locked in like he'd like to be. But anytime you're shutting the team out, and you just don't feel like you've found your traction yet, that's good. Because you've always got to be 100% on to get outs. You're not going to be around too long.
Definitely.
Headed for the home half of the third inning. Back in a minute with the Turks trying to not only get their first run of the night, but the first hit of the night as well. We'll see here in just a moment.
Charities listening. One nothing Stanton. Was that new? 1-0 Stanton.
That's new. Christopher Barr will lead it off for the Turks. A couple of hits last night, and I believe that was his only start of the year in left field. Because Jesse Baker, not being available, kind of shuffled the outfield around a little bit last night, unexpectedly. Lefty-lefty matchup here. First pitch from Stokes. Inside corner for strike one. Good pitch. No balls and one strike.
Mom's tweeted in there listening, and we got one special listener too. Adam Cherry's listening from Philadelphia.
All right.
Former player last year, injured this year, so he was a nice video intern. We don't have you sitting right next to us, Adam, but we're glad you're listening in down there in Philly.
Definitely. Send that good mojo. Turks need a little starter here. Next pitch to Barr is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Stokes gets a sign he likes from Castro. Comes set. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Fastball a little up in the zone. Barr had a good cut at it. It's maybe a shade tardy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield straight away for Christopher Barr. Jose Carrera at second. Inordinately deep. 1-2 pitch, chopped and foul right there in the batter's box. Remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barr digs back in there now. Stokes deals the 1-2. Breaking ball stayed up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here. Bottom of 3. Scoreless ball game. This is what so many of the Turks and Covington games have looked like. 2-2 pitch. Grounded down toward first. Taking on a tough block there. To the bag and not in time. Christopher Barr beats it out. Blocked by the first baseman, flat off his chest. Did a nice job. And then he had to do kind of a football shovel pass to Stokes, who could not beat Barr to the bag in a foot race. I think if you score out an error, that's pretty tough. Second hop kind of ate the first baseman flat up.
This isn't a bad play. It's not like he went through his legs. He was there, still waiting on the official score.
Scored an error. Scored an error. That's a 50-50.
I agree.
Here comes Matulia now. Turks don't necessarily care how the base runner happened, and you can get off the schneid there. Another lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch to Mitch. Missed outside. He was flashing the bat head as if to bunt. I thought the third baseman Brito in extremely shallow. Ideally, you want the first baseman or someone that's got a difficult throw to second to field this particular bunt. Go to first, and Barr is back.
You also got the lefty on the mound too, so bunting to the first base side, you do kind of get him off balance, or forcing the first baseman to take it, either one.
If bunting it too hard is probably the worst thing here, regardless of the direction. Squares around and missed on a bunt attempt there. Pretty good pitch to bunt, down about knee high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coach Weiss wigwagging the signs down in the third base coach's box. 1 run would feel huge for whichever team right now, so I think the bunt will stay on here. Medium lead for Barr at first. Soft toss to first, and Barr dives back in there. Base runners are going to be at a premium. You've got to be careful. Better to get a slower start off at first than to get picked off at first. 1-1 pitch to Matulia. Way outside, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mitch definitely had a much better second half of the season with the stick. When he gets the extra base bat going, he'll split that left center alley, maybe that right center alley. 2-1, bunted third base side, pretty good. Brito will let it go foul though. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Joe, I think a good strategy right here for the Turks. You're almost certainly going to see Stokes try and throw that soft breaking ball. Maybe it's a straight steal for Barr. Get a great pitch to run on. 2-2 pitch, fastball missed outside. Boy, I was wrong on that one. And normally you're going to get 4 or 5 inches off the edges. That was a ball width off the edge, called a ball.
Awfully close.
Very close to take at any part of the count. So 3-2 to Mitchell Matulia. Short lead by Barr over there. Pitch to Matulia, lined out into left field for a base hit. Barr had to hold up because the shortstop Edwards was looking to make a backhand snow cone catch. So both guys had moved up 90 feet, and that was a gritty at bat right there.
One of those odd situations now where if you're on the defense, you're wishing he laid down that foot.
Yes.
got him 2 strikes and he's on your single lane. He gets a single.
Well, the rule of thumb is if the team's trying to give you an out, take it. And Matulia failed on the bunt attempts, but in the end, he really worked it nice to full and then pokes one to left. But back in the bunt mode here for Stephen McLean. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Middle infield kind of pinching a little bit to keep Barr close.
That's it, yep.
McLean already squaring around, no question about it. Hopped up and caught by Castro, the catcher. So McLean pops up the first pitch he sees, and that's a big out right there. A good bunter. Got underneath that one.
Second time McLean's popped up a bunt and been out. There was a game earlier this season, I remember, 9th inning, and McLean dropped on a bunt and he popped it out. We ended up still scoring that inning.
Yeah, so much of that's forgotten because the Turks will mop up the mistake and come back.
So hopefully Smith can do the same here, find the gap and score both runners.
Well, the question with Smith is always, where do we play him? Because he'll hit the ball in either corner, back up the middle, everywhere. Fastball in there for a strike from Stokes. Smith is hard to defend, and you're just better off playing fairly deep and straight away and hope you get some quality pitches on the corners by your guy on the hill. Something to the outfield would make the Turks happy, because this Jack's infield can turn some plays. Hit down the right field way, twisting away, and it's going to get down for a base hit up against the wall. Barr got a very late start at third because the runner's going to be caught. And Smith will scamper on back to first, so he ends up with a single to right. And really, Barr has got to hold up there because if the ball is caught by the right fielder, Flores, Barr could tag up and make it to third. So he was absolutely in no man's land.
Everybody was kind of in an odd situation on all the base runners, too. Smith was obviously out of the box, taking 2 bases. Not looking at the runner, he was nearly 3/4 way down second base, and McCoy is standing on it.
See, and if Barr gambles there and goes halfway, then you end up with him scoring on that play. But that literally was on the verge of being caught the whole time it was in the air. So 1 out, bases full of Turks. Thomas Spitz will dig in there now with a chance to break this thing open. 2 hits in the inning for Harrisonburg. Stokes deals. Foul straight back to the screen and a fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Daniel Nichols on deck, but once again the Turks want something to the outfield. Covington's infield has shown that they can turn the 5-4-3, the 4-6-3, the 6-4-3, all of the above. So you'd like to put them in the outfield, take your chances with one of those arms. Chopped foul, third base side. Big fastball by Stokes, got it in on the hands of Spitz, and it's 0-2. Bottom of the third, bases full of Turks. Scoreless ball game, no balls, 2 strikes to Thomas Spitz. Good speed at third with Christopher Barr. Average speed with Matulia and Smith at second and third. 0-2 pitch outside by about a foot. But you're really trying to see, have I got an anxious guy who will flail at this thing? And in this case, the answer is no. I like a nice 0-2 pitch. That was a very good one by Stokes. One-two pitch now. Way high. Stokes, though, threw one that was about a 45-footer earlier and also airmailed one to the backstop. That's exactly what he does not want to do here. Those are 2 very out-of-character pitches considering the rest of his offerings here in the game. And he was fortunate enough to do it with no one on. There, kill play shut there. 2-2 pitch. Popped up right side. Jose Carrera into shallow right, makes the catch for out number 2. So very big out there. Infield fly rule was in effect. And now Phil Stokes and the Jacks just 1 hitter away from getting out of trouble. Really, Nichols last night and his first at bat tonight has really not been looking good against the lefty matchups. to see if he can figure that out. Got a lot of thump in that left-handed swing. Just hasn't made any contact off these lefties the last couple times he's seen them. Stokes has got to throw strikes though. He hasn't walked anyone, hasn't struck anyone out. Castro setting up inside. Stokes deals. Grounded out towards shortstop. Weekly going to be a tough play. Edwards going to first is in time. Edwards Nichols by about a step and a half. Takes it net loaded to the Turks. Scores Baldwin over the top of the fourth inning. Harrisonburg and the Covington Lumberjacks. Back into really Turks baseball.
You can win playoff games like that.
There's no way later in this game that the pitch that Matilio took is not going to be a strike. I think it was a ball, but it's, this close has been a strike all year. So. Top of the fourth inning, Matt O'Neill, Grant McCown, and Hayden Platt due for the Jacks.
That last inning for the Turks was very reminiscent of many of the innings they had offensively last night. Leadoff doubles, not being able to get guys around to score, not being able to take advantage of runners on base and runners on base with less than 2 outs, more specifically.
Hop foul, third base side out of play, and definitely a break the scoreless tie swing there from Matt O'Neill. Can't blame him. Trying to run into a fastball on the first pitch. No balls and 1 strike. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. It is strange to see a scoreless game into the fourth with no strikeouts. 0 for these guys. 1-1 slider stays outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Holloway had a good mix of pop outs and ground outs. 1, 2, 3, 4 fly outs and 1, 2, 3, 4 ground outs.
Fastball high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. See if that trend of not getting them 1, 2, 3 continues. I guess the double play and then an ounce as close as you're going to get for the Turks, but a conventional 1, 2, 3. 3-1. Hit out toward right field pretty deep. Barr is going back, and he does make the catch. There's a pretty good warning track. Good power the other way by O'Neill. O'Neill's not a big guy. I mean, and actually with Grant McCown come up here too. Neither one of those guys are gigantic. They both have pretty good pop off the bat though. A lot of times people they don't realize how thin Matt Rose from the Turks is till you get next to him. Matt's got a similar build to you. He's a thin guy, but generates a lot of whip to his swing. First pitch to McCown, high and tight, 1 ball, no strikes. McCown is 0 for 1 so far. Top of 4. 1 out. Nobody on. Scoreless ball game. Fastball grounded out towards shortstop. 2 big hops for McLean. For the first is not in time. Hit number 3 for the Jacks. Beats it out.
On the Broward Seahawks, first baseman Leader Platt.
Comes Platt now. He's 1 for 1. Surprising speed there for McCown. He's a guy with a long stride. And at the last 30 feet to first is where his speed came in there. Hopped foul right side out of play. No balls and 1 strike on a good fastball.
There's a short that foul ball to concession stand for offense of City Motors.
Duke is starting to get some baseball pedigree to it. Marcus Stroman is really their best baseball guy in the majors right now. And former Turk Chris Marcancini, really highly thought of, just got drafted. With changeup stay low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitch there. You can certainly see Platt grounding that ball to someone in the middle. Leave it a little short of the plate, and change the speed and get that bat out in front. 1-1 pitch. High and tight. Off of Matulia's glove, and down to second will go McCown. Thought that might have hit Platt for a second, but it actually just hit off Matulia's glove. He's headed right to the hill. Three bases. That will get you beat most nights, and then a 0-0 game will magnify.
That makes 3 of the first 4 innings. The Lumberjacks have had a runner reach second, too. As we talked about, a base runner each as well.
Yeah, and O'Neal can run. Not a blazer. Good long stride. 2-1 pitch missed outside. 3-1. I definitely think that the game stays close like this. The first guy out of the pen is going to be number 3 from the Turks. So it's going to be on there.
Can't go a series without using them.
No. Fastball in there for a strike. Good pitch by Holloway to get back into the at-bat. So important to keep that double play in order, and that's why that pass ball is huge. Turks doing their best to keep the runner close in the middle. Both Smith and McLean are cheating them. Line drive base into the right field. Warner comes in, charges it. And there'll be no attempt to score. Warner got it in quickly, hit the cutoff man. The runners at first and third, 1 out. That was definitely a liner that if Smith was in his regular position, he still doesn't get. He was headed to right field either way. Here comes Jonathan Flores now.
Flores was the man who grounded into the double play back in the 2nd inning. I think the double play will be huge right here for the Turks.
Jonathan Flores.
The Jacks will dodge their ball. The Turks having the bases loaded. They're just 1 out. Hit into left field for a base knock. Running over the field. Right plays it on 2 hops. Heading over to third base. Could have a play there, and not in time. Backed up nicely by Holloway, but headed down to second base on the first from Flores. So 1 run for the Lumberjacks on the single by Flores. And the runners at second and third were still just 1 out. 1-0 Jacks. A real gamble to try and make it over to third, and Kelfleisch's throw came into the cutoff man. Just not enough time there for McLean to get a throw to Rose.
Pioneers, Point Clark, Patriots for center field.
Turks will bring the infield in.
Brett Morgan's up off the bullpen bench, ready to throw. Blow him up. I'm sure there'll be short leashes with guys tonight in a decisive game.
Demetrius Moore, the hitter. Slider in there for a strike, and Holloway is a guy that has got a good live fastball, hasn't struck anyone out. This would be a great time to ring someone up here. Infield in. Moore with great speed at the plate. 0-1, low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Demetrius.
Fastball, this guy, as we've seen with slow bat speed throughout the series.
Well, he hung around the last at bat, maybe fouling off a few sliders. So Slider speed back. 1-1 pitch, low and outside, and blocked by Materia. Spiked that hard breaking ball.
Warriors 2 for 7 in the playoffs, where 4 of those non-hits were strikeouts. The only non-hit was the ground out he had tonight in the second inning. So he is prone to strike out.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out.
34 strikeouts during the regular season, too.
Holloway deals high and tight. 3-1. First base is open. You certainly don't want to be walking the number 7 hitter, but we'll at least get the infield back at a depth where you can turn a conventional double play. Shane Castro is on deck. 3-1 pitch. Hit out towards center field. Spitz has to go back on it and make the catch in fairly deep center field. Throw comes into third base, and it's 2-0 Lumberjacks on the sacrifice fly by Demetrius Ward. Jack's goals that made the trip are jacked up, as you would expect. 2-0. And runs have been at a premium in these first couple of games. Runner at second base now is Jonathan Flores, and 2 outs against Castro digs in. Chopped down third base way and foul by about 4 feet. Good idea by Castro. Jump on something fast early. No balls and 1 strike. 5 hits for the Jacks now. Holloway deals, slider is swung on and missed. Castro chased one a little up in the zone there. 0-2. Holloway's had 2 strikes on a bunch of hitters, and credit the Jacks. Hanging tough. Hasn't been able to strike anyone out. Oh, 2 pitch. Low for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bernard Brito on deck for Covington. 1-2 from Holloway. There's a strike. And a miss on the slider. But the damage is done here in the fourth. 2 runs in for the Jacks. Could have been worse when you think about it. Certainly could have been more with a double here or something like that. So 2 runs in. Harrisonburg going to have to answer with the bats here. Bottom of the fourth, coming at you. Trying to win his first round upset. Game 3, elimination.
At 1649 Reservoir Street. Smoothie King, who did yourself. Play numbers are 237 and 310. 237 and 310. Going up to the press box. Yes, you won a 5-1-8-1-3. Drive Smoothie King.
What was the error that inning?
Materia dropped the pop-up.
This inning? That was the first inning.
Oh, the Turks error. The only thing I could guess was that McLean was given an error on the throw to third that allowed Flores to go to second. That's being really, really tight.
Error?
It got by Rose, but I think Flores was headed to second on the throw anyway.
It was McLean's throw because it got past Rose.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I forgot it got past Rose.
Here's Rose leading off another inning.
Leading off for the Turks. From the Panthers of Georgia State, third baseman Matt Rose.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Matt Rose will lead it off. Rose, Kelpfleisch, and Tchaikovsky against the lefty Phil Stokes. Mistake to a 2-0 lead by his Lumberjacks. Fastball in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Rose threw out to left. His only time up tonight. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stokes deals the 1-1. Hit hard and foul over top the Turks bullpen, left field side. Rose guessed a little too right on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Great snap off of the breaking ball there by Stokes.
Not much to argue with there. It's a beautiful pitch. Just totally Buffalo Rose's knees. Not expecting that.
Great pitch. Great pitch.
Here
comes Kelpfleisch now. 1 out. Nobody on. Bottom of 4. Castro setting up outside. Pitch to Kelpfleisch. Strike on the outside corner. One of the first ones we've seen off the edge that gets the call. No balls and 1 strike. Big sweeping curve way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Luke Tchaikovsky on deck for Harrisonburg. 1-1 fouled off third base side. 1-2.
Here's a return that foul ball to the concession stand for a freezing hot compliments of City Motors.
One-two pitch hit hard and fair on the right field line. That ball's headed to the corner. Kelpfleisch is going to trot on into second base with a 1-out double. Don't fall over that one. That was a breaking ball left in the middle of the plate.
Absolutely turned on by Kelpfleisch. No chance anywhere for that.
Lefty, lefty. That's kind of as far as you're going to see a guy who's going on.
The ball's got a good zone.
Definitely. Here comes Tchaikovsky now. High run to the plate for the Turks. Luke does have a long ball over here. Stokes deals to Tchaikovsky. High for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Close games in all 3 of these elimination matches. Bottom of the 7th, Front Royal hanging on to a 1-0 lead over Strasburg. Stanton leads 2-0 top of the 4th at home against Charlestown. One-oh pitch, right on the inside corner. Great location there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2-0 game for the Jacks. Turks have come up empty with the bases loaded once and need to rally. 1-1 pitch, strong line miss. Going to turn it over, breaking ball. Going to use that one like a little circle change up there. 1-2, Tchaikovsky over the top and out in front. One ball, 2 strikes to Luke Tchaikovsky. Stokes deals. Another breaking ball outside. Might have been what he was trying to throw earlier when he airmailed one to the backstop. A little circle change that just squirted out of his hand.
Just lost the grip on it. It is easy to lose the grip on a circle change when you only got 3 main fingers as the anchor on the ball.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Stokes deals. Low and outside. Castro behind the plate moves around about as much as you'll see a catcher move. He's shifting in and out, and often he's set up outside and then will shift back to the center of the plate. You better hope your guy doesn't miss the target by too much. Send you scuttling. 3-2 to Luke Chakowski. He's worked it full. Stokes checks Kelfleisch and deals. Hop foul, right side out of play. Good foul off there.
I think part of his big movement, too, is the runner on second base. So Kelfleisch can't let Chakowski know where Castro's setting up, where to expect the pitch.
3231 South Main Street in Harrisonburg, home of both high performance and economical quality used cars.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner in scoring position at second for the Turks. Stokes deals the payoff. Hot foul right side again. Nice battle here. You can tell that Kelfleisch, Chakowski definitely sees Stokes' offerings well. That one changeup had Chakowski fooled. Otherwise, he's had some pretty nice cuts here on the offering. And they've all been close enough that you can't risk taking them. Defense is straight away for Luke. 3-2 pitch again. Down and out. Way back there. Chakowski draws a one out. Well, got to put runners at first and second. As Christopher Barr digs in.
The right fielder from the Miami Hurricanes, Christopher Barr.
These lefty-lefty matchups, whether it's Daniel Nichols, Christopher Barr, Mitchell Matulia, those 3 really come to mind. I mean, not everyone is Eric Kelfleisch when it comes to zeroing in on a lefty. Turks hitters. Stokes deals, hop foul, straight back. No balls and 1 strike. A lot of lefties, they know they're only going to get a couple of good pitches to hit. And they'll often be forced into guess mode. Let me guess first pitch fastball, give it a swing, or whatever it might be. There's something about a talented left-handed pitcher that can often dominate left-handed hitters. 0-1 pitch to ball. Hit out towards second base. Carrera has got it. He goes to second for 1 on the first. It goes wild. 1 run to score on the play. Mr. Ray had a little bit more time than the thumb did there, Joe. Put across the body. A rare mistake for Jose Carrera. This scoring error will put 1 run for the Turks. The Turks are definitely the team that suddenly is into the beggars can't be choosers mode. 1 run any way you could get it.
The catcher on the Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio, Mitchell Matulia.
And if Carrera goes to the bag, stops as he touches it, he's still got plenty of time to get his feet under him and throw out Barr for the double play. So 2-1 ball game now as Mitchell Matulia digs in. Christopher Barr at first. Hop foul, third base side out of play. No balls and 1 strike.
Especially for Barr, who hasn't really been running that well.
No, he hasn't.
He did run out, did that push on the error in the 4th inning too, and he didn't look. He was full speed on that one.
He looked full speed the first week he was here, but has not since. I know he had a lower leg injury at one point. 0-1 curve in there for a strike. Great pitch by Stokes. 0-2 to Matulia. Mitch does have a hit to his credit tonight. All right. 0-2 pitch, hot foul, third base side. Matulia's kind of been a double-edged sword where he'll chase some pitches, whether it's let or high. When you think about some of his biggest hits of the year, they've been right there. He's really handled that high ball better than anything as far as really putting some wood on it. 0-2 pitch, hit hard in the right field for a base hit. And Barr will move up to second. Rated by Jose Carrera. I definitely made up for the throwing error. Great play. Nabs that ball before right field and throws out Matulia. One run in for Harrisonburg on just one hit. And regardless of that wasn't a free run put on the board there by any stretch, but right now the Turks, oh my goodness. Yeah, 2-1 Covington. Just to crack through and get anything on Stokes here so far. J.R. Holloway and Bill Stokes pitching through here, 2-1. At the top of the fifth inning, back into more Turks baseball playoff action in 2014.
So they're going to score. They're not going to win the game. Charlestown just out of that too soon.
Well, the best thing about that is they got it around to a spot where they're 9-1-2, and that's been a winning formula, really. Definitely need a 0 right here.
No doubt.
Followed up the 7th inning scoreboard leading Strasburg 2-0. Top of the fourth, 2-2 Charlestown and State. Leading off from the mountain of North Carolina, third baseman Lumberjacks.
Top of the fifth inning, Bernard Brito will lead it off. Right-hand swinging third baseman. 2-1 ball game. Holloway deals, grounded down toward third. Rose has got it on 2 hops for the first in time, so 1 pitch, 1 out. And back to the top of the order for Blake Edwards. The Turks have yet to retire. He has singled and walked and has a couple of steals. And despite all of that, he hasn't scored. But he is a nice leadoff guy. Real fire starter. Columbus State. Slider low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Edwards.
Guessing that's Columbus, Ohio. If I had to. There are many Columbuses.
Georgia possibly? Or Columbus State? Columbus State in Georgia?
Columbus, Indiana.
Slider missed outside again. 2 balls and no strikes.
Columbus State is Ohio Community College.
Pretty good player. I would think he's someone going to make a jump to go play D1 somewhere. Hot foul, straight back, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1. Yeah, I can scoreboard's got it back. Holloway deals to 2-1, chopped foul, third base side. Quick bat there by Edwards, 2-2. 1 out, nobody on for the Turks, looking for that elusive 1-2-3. Following up a run with a 0. Very important for momentum's sake. 2-2 slider, pops straight up, middle of the infield. Matulia makes the catch. 2 down. And that'll bring up Jose Carrera. Someone's got kind of a bullhorn type of.
Vuvuzela.
Yeah, well, the Vuvuzela's got a little bit more of a pitch than that. Just an annoying sound. That really
I got one that I took with me where I took it to Kentucky when I went to the JMU softball regional.
Fastball missed outside. They can ruin any sporting event.
It was good for about one nice long hard blow per game. When the facilities would yell at me.
Yeah.
I made sure I got my work, made it worthwhile.
Hopped away on the third base side, 1 strike. Good fastball there by Taylor Holloway. It doesn't matter which Valley League game someone is attending or watching here tonight. You got a 2-1, 2-0, and a 2-2 in elimination games. 1-1 pitch is low for a ball, 2-1. Matt O'Neill on deck for the Jacks. No one presently throwing in the Turks' pen. Big important inning here for Holloway. Swung on and missed, and Carrera would have landed a big swing. Comes up empty 2-2. But they've got a couple of long balls on the season. That swing is not just for show. He can dial it up long from time to time. Top of the 8th, Front Royal, who added that insurance run, 2-0 over Strasburg. 2-2 pitch, outside 3-2. Spits in center is shallower than Var, and right is deep. They seem to be in a picket fence line out there. 3-2 pitch, low for the ball, and Carrera walks in with 2 outs.
So still no 1-2-3 inning in the past 2 ball games.
If I'm the Jacks here, you've got a pitcher that's pretty slow to the plate. Tulia really hasn't shown you a gun behind the plate, and a 3-swinger at the plate. If O'Neill gets behind, say 0-1 or 0-2, I'm certainly going to turn Carrera loose.
Carrera with 1 steal so far during the playoffs and 15 during the regular season. Was caught 7 times during the regular season, though. And no Lumberjack has been caught at all during the playoffs.
Low and outside, Matulia had a backhand that one. 1 ball and no strikes. I think you've got to figure out, can the other guy throw us out? If the answer is yes, you at least have learned a little something. Holloway comes set. Average lead for Carrera. We're first. And he dives back in there. Fastball swung on and missed. There's a lot of swing and miss in Matt O'Neill's game, but the 6 homers certainly tell you, okay, you better not put it in the wrong spot. He may not have a big hot zone, but he has one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Holloway has a sign he likes from Matulia. Quick throw to first again. Nichols caught the ball, moves the glove over to put a tag on Carrera, and the tag was over top of his helmet. So even if you had him, you didn't have him. 1-1 pitch popped up a mile high, spits in center, little to his left and in. And he makes the catch for out number 3. So Taylor Holloway yet to get 1, 2, 3. But he has made the pitches when he needed to. The Turks do get their 0 after the -1 run uprising. Headed for the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 Lumberjacks trying to knock out the Turks here, the #1 seed in the first round of the DBL playoffs. 2006, the last time anyone won the regular season pennant as the Turks have done, and the Jim Line Leader Cup. So it is an elusive prize. Back in a minute with more playoff baseball from here. So. You have anything you want to talk about for Hey Joe, or maybe some of the MLB trade stuff, or just whatever comes to mind?
Leading off the Turks for shortstop on Bears and Edwards, Stephen McLean.
Bottom of the 5th inning. Stephen McLean will lead it off. Thomas Smith and Thomas Spitz to follow. Bill Stokes deals. Outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Stokes had walked 1, struck out 1, giving up just 3 hits through 4. Hanging on to his 2-1 lead. 1-0 pitch to McLean. Inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. A little bit low on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 to Stephen McLean. Popped up foul, right side out of play. Kind of an upper part of the zone fastball there.
McLean's last at bat, and only in better the games before, was his failed bunt attempt to pop up to the catcher. McLean in the playoffs, just 1 hit and 7 at bats.
Two pitch. High and tight, 3-2. Leadoff man, when he gets on, will score only about half the time. So see if McLean can get it done. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. With a hard slider down and in. Too close to take and a real nasty pitch. Tied up McLean. And he strikes him out for out number 1. That'll bring up Thomas Smith now.
Thomas Smith.
Good pitch there. That one gets nearly everyone.
Just handcuffed and didn't get the barrel of that near that ball.
Thomas Smith is 1 for 2. Popped up, third base side of the infield. Brito is in. And he makes the catch right on the foul line. 1 pitch, and out number 2 is recorded. 2 outs now for Spitz.
Center fielder Thomas Spitz.
Popped up, left side of the infield again. Edwards, the shortstop, calls off Brito, and he makes the squeeze for out number 3. So after a pretty deep at bat there by McLean, just 2 more pitches needed to get Smith and Spitz. And that is big for Stokes to go deeper into the game. Holloway is headed back to the hill for the Turks. He's in the low 80s as far as pitch count. The magic formula for the Turks has always been to get into the visitors' bullpen, and that's kind of been game, set, match more times often than not.
Take a few more hits thrown together, we'll get into the bullpen.
Just 3 hits for the Turks and only 1 walk surrendered. The Jacks have gotten anything but 8 seed effort and 8 seed pitching here in the playoffs. They've been very good. 3-1 game, the Turks late uprising made that possible. The typical Matt Rose kind of hit we've been seeing all year. Just not enough offense from the rest of the lineup here in the playoffs. But it's early. I mean, 5 or 6 games this year look very much like this, where the Turks have been mystified through 5, only to end up with a double-digit hits and runs the rest of the way. So you never know, but it's almost always started with whoa, you just got my attention.
Sorry about that. Salzburg just put 2 in the top 8 innings. We added a 2-2 ball game as well. So 2-2 ball game in the 8th inning in front of Royal and 2-2 ball game in Stanton, between Stanton and Charlestown.
Now, do you think there's some anxiety in the front row of Stanton as much as there is here? How about that? For a $5 bill, there's 3 baseball games we know about that are pitch-to-pitch anxiety. Comes Grant McCown leading it off. Holloway deals. Sliders swung on and missed. Just haven't seen enough of that pitch in the zone. He just hasn't found his spots with it because it's got some great dip, nice little sweep, and it looks a lot like his fastball release point. 0-1, fastball low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. McCown, Platt, and Flores are due. Platt and Flores have really they've done the damage for the most part. Platt's got a couple of hits. Flores got a nice little bingo to left field. 1-1 pitch outside. Our slider misses. Strasburg having the tumultuous season that they've had. They're a heck of a story, huh? Not giving in. Hit hard in the left field for a base hit. Kempflight on the run. He juggle it out there in the left field. It's going to be a double. You got better by Grant McCown. Didn't make it to the wall, but it was hit hard enough that all of Keltrush's momentum was headed toward the left field corner, and he didn't come up with it clean. It was a short double. Hit number 6 for the Jacks. I'm not sure if Hayden Flatt's a guy that has normally put a bunt down or whatever, but this would be a spot where you might see some ultra small ball. Bunt the guy over to third to give yourself 2 legitimate shots to get him in from third.
First baseman Lee Platt.
Platt with 0 sacrifice bunts in the regular season.
McLean and Smith are pinching the runner at second. Slider high and tight. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's not going to bunt. He's definitely approaching to hit the ball to the right side infield to advance the runner at all costs. Hit a runner to third with less than 2 outs.
Tuia out talking some strategy there with Holloway. And Tuia's next glance was to the bullpen.
Brett Morgan still thrown down there.
1 ball and no strikes. 2-1 Lumberjacks. Now a good scoring opportunity with a runner at second, nobody out. 1-0 pitch. Hit out toward left field. Keltfleisch is on the run, and he makes the catch. Return throw to second, not in time. You don't expect the guy to wander off second quite that far. I think if Keltfleisch comes up firing there, he might have been able to double off Grant McCown.
McCown thought that was going to get down off the bat. He wasn't really going halfway, just running towards home. He had home plate on his line.
Big out for Holloway and the Turks. Flores 1 for 2 with an RBI. Strike on the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Great location on that. Holloway has walked a couple of batters and struck out just 1. Another big spot where a strikeout would be paramount. Sliders on and missed. Great dip to that one, ended up low and out. Flores not happy with himself. Goes for a little walkabout. Adjust the gloves. Get back in there. You can be fooled a couple of times and still have a successful at-bat. That's the nature of baseball. 0-2. See if Holloway can waste one in a crafty way here. Fastball low for a ball. Material was kind of in a high crouch. And Holloway missed the target, but he might have missed the target in the strike zone. Very close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On 2 to Flores. Chopped out towards shortstop. McLean takes it, throws to first in time. High enough in the top for McCann to scamper over to third on the play. That'll bring up Demetrius Moore with a runner at third. Moore had a sacrifice fly his last time up to score run number 2. Right-hand swinger is Moore.
Center fielder Demetrius Moore.
Leadoff double by McCown. Now he could be stranded at third if the Turks can retire Moore. There are no small runs in any Valley League ballpark tonight. Just missed on the inside of the fastball.
Moore goes for 1 sac fly. Last at bat to bring home second. Covington's 2 runs in the 4th inning.
1-0 pitch. Hopped up first base side into foul territory. Nichols comes over, Matulia as well, and it's into the Covington dugout.
I think there was more hustle there. They may have been able to get to that ball. It was just barely in the dugout. But
Nichols had an extremely long run, Matulia as well, so it would have been a great play by either one of them, but it was definitely less than an arm's length into the dugout. It really makes you think about how good the major leaguers are at making plays up against the barriers. They're just fantastic. They get there and they make great plays. Slider in there for a strike. One of the better pitches by Holloway all night. Definitely had more frozen there. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think both Matulia and Holloway know that Moore can't catch up with the 4-seam fastball, and you're likely to see him blow it by him here, or at least try. 1-2. Slider inside. Holloway is headed for the dugout. I think the home plate umpire was spot on correct with that one. Close for the ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Holloway deals. Off of Matulia's glove and coming home is 1-4. Really hit Moore with the offering and really gave Matulia not much of a chance to make the catch. Got leather on it, but he missed the target by 4 feet. So now a full count to Moore with 2 outs, but run number 3 in for Covington to make it 3-1. Three-two pitch. Hot foul right side out of play.
a few parents listening in. Dennis Honda, listening down in Fort Worth as always. Listening to Plain and family. Steve's listening, grandparents, brother Joey, and parents are listening from California.
Glad we have you listening. Definitely a nail biter. Full count to Moore. Holloway deals. Hit hard and foul down the first base line. Quality pitch and a nice little pesky fight off by Moore. Three and 2. Moore steps back in there.
So a quiet Covington bullpen and for the time being, quiet Harrison Merck bullpen.
Payoff, running out and missed on a hard slider. There comes a couple of pitches too late. A wildness from Holloway allows the leadoff double to come around and score there from Grant McCown. 3-1 Lumberjacks. Cooks really 4 more times at the plate, so you got to look at that. Another big score update.
Charlestown plated 3 in the top of the 5th against Stanton. It's now 5-2 Cannons over the Braves, still 2-2. Charlesburg over St. Royal in the bottom of the 8th, and a 3-1 game here in Harrisonburg in the bottom of the 6th.
That top of the 8th there in St. Royal went on forever. I know Strasburg got 2, but that game was posted at the top of the 8th for what seemed like 30 minutes. Unbelievable. So, can the Turks get Phil Stokes out of the ball game? You want to get some runs and come back and win this game, but is it going to happen with Stokes on the hill? This time of year, you often see guys that haven't gone the distance all year just say, this might be my last effort of the summer. I'm going to poke up and go here. Holloway is at 100 pitches even, and I think Holloway is probably thrown his last baseball.
I'd say for sure, too, especially as he's just walked down to the bullpen and taken a seat.
There you go. 2 errors for each club. Extra outs always come back to bite you. For the Turks, it'll be Daniel Nichols, Matt Rose, and Eric Kelfleisch. We'll see if Nichols can figure out the left-hander and give Rose a swing with a runner on. That's been the winning formula for the Turks, is to just get guys on for Kelfleisch and Rose all year long. And Smith and Spitz, whether Smith is in the 1 hole or the 2 hole, whatever it might be, those guys have done it. Actually, some of the time that Christopher Lamar was in the 2 hole early in the season, he scored a bunch of runs in the first half of the season following the 2 slot. Here comes Daniel Nichols, 0 for 2. Bottom of the 6th inning, 3-1 Covington, trying to close out this first round series. Hit hard out to his second. Carrera's got it on 2-3 hops. Go to first is not in time. Before the first baseman off the bag. Jose plays extremely deep there at second base, and it's a genius move, but keep in mind, you're leaving yourself with about a 120-foot throw, not a 70-foot throw.
I mean, off the bat, I thought that was a sure base hit. Carrera just covers so much on ground.
Make a ball wrong deep!
Yeah, that is another one, Joe, where he's got more time. He's trying to get rid of it like he's got something that can really fly. And really threw it out of speed under him square. So an error on Carrera, and that does in fact bring up Matt Rose with a runner on. Stokes deals. Hit out to a right center pretty deeply, headed back, and replayable, and caught right on the warning track. Really good ride, but right there on the warning track, Jonathan Flores makes the catch. A long out for Matt Rose. Here comes Eric Kelfleisch. 1 for 2 for Kelfleisch. Proper part of the Turks order. Down by 2. They produced the better part of the year, especially in the late innings. Fastball high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Got a righty thrown down in the Lumberjacks pen. Stokes is only at 77 pitches. Which for the 6th is pretty good.
So when you compare it to Holloway, that
Yes.
makes it look like a small number.
One ball, 1 strike. Stokes to Kelfleisch. In the left field for a base nod. Very nice go with the pitch kind of swing there by Kelfleisch. Pull the hands in, put the barrel on left side. Hughes out there in right field.
Hey, keep it going, 1-5!
Here comes Luke Chakowski now. He's 0 for 1, but he walked his last time up. See if the Turks can get a little production from the bottom. Chakowski, Barnatuya, and McLean. Just 1 for 7 so far. First pitch to Luke. Inside corner for strike one. No balls and 1 strike to Chakowski. Way outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not much in the way of speed on the bases for the Turks. You certainly want to see Chakowski put something in the outfield.
Gap would be nice.
A gap would be very nice. Moore in center really is as good a mobile center fielder as you'll see in the Valley League. 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. Kind of a unsung player in this game. Castro behind the plate has really locked it down. He's been very solid. Because in an inning like this, you give up something, you have a couple guys in scoring position if you don't handle one of these errant throws. Bluff play. I think one of the things that's helped Castro is that Stokes has pretty much kept everything up, which is normally going to get you bitten a little bit. Very few of these pitchers finish down at all. 2-1 pitch. Hop down the right field line. That's a foul ball. Going to get out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chakowski had a very lengthy at-bat his last time up before walking. The Turks would take that right here as well. Really are looking for that clutch hit that we've seen so many times this season. Both at home and on the road. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Maybe a little turnover, a little change of pace there. Great pitch by Stokes. Had Chakowski a little out in front over top of him. And we're out number 2. Comes Barnett. Here comes that second with a fairly short lead. Certainly going to take a ball to the outfield to score him. Pitch the bar high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
Not only do you just need runs because you're trailing, but not scoring here can also be a huge damper on the team's morale, too. You got first and second, 1 out, and a leadoff runner as well.
Left him loaded earlier, too. 1-0 pitch hit out towards center field. Moore has a beat on this. And he makes the catch. 3-1 ball game after the top of the 7th inning. Close everywhere. Back in the middle, more Turks baseball. Jacks on top, 3-1 here.
I don't know.
That's David Nelson giving away a couple of free sandwiches from Mr. J's Bagels and Deli, 3 Harrisonburg locations, Market Square East, Market Square, and Marchand Square. And the numbers 221, 116, 221, 116.
Decent strikes. This would be a good spot to get them 1, 2, 3, and then you got a chance to see the hardware order just one more time.
This call to the bullpen is being presented by Locking On Ace Hardware, your neighborhood hardware store where customer service matters. Now pitching for the Turks from the Bulldogs in Wingate, Brett Morgan.
Top of the 7th, Brett Morgan's first offering fouled off by Shane Castro. Castro, Brito, and Edwards do here in the 7th for the Jacks. 3-1 Covington. They dodged several Turks bullets, despite the fact the Turks only had 4 hits. Fastball foul straight back to the screen. So Morgan coming in with some blazers. He's got Castro in an 0-2 hole. Morgan, a guy with a really good live fastball and hard slider. Reliever stuff, prototypical reliever stuff.
We have already seen Morgan in this series. He was a guy who came in for the 9th inning in game 1, did allow a run, but did get the save too.
0-2 fastball, swing around this, and he's on. He will get your hands, you better get ready. One up, one down, here comes Bernard Brito. We'll beat the dead horse here, but the Turks yet to get him 1, 2, 3 tonight.
Third baseman, Bernard Brito.
That makes, in the last inning, 6, that's 8, 14, 15 straight innings. The Turks have not retired Covington 1, 2, 3.
First pitch misses outside. Loaded on the throwing pin of the Turks. 1-0 pitch. And missed.
The 8th inning of game 1. Turks got 1, 2, 3.
You'd think when you hear that, okay, the Jacks have scored a boatload of runs. They really haven't. Been scrappy and scored what they needed. 1-1 pitch is low and outside. 2-1. Edwards on deck. 2-1 pitch. Missed outside. 3-1.
Strasburg got 0 runs in the top of the 9th, so that tie ball game from Royals headed to the bottom of the 9th inning. For Royal with a chance to walk off in 9.
2 runners late for the ball, so 1 out walk to the number 9 hitter, Brito, who came in hitting under 150. You never want to walk the 9 hitter, but when a guy is struggling mightily like that. So 1 out now for Edwards, who's 1 for 2. I think the only good news, Joe, might be that there's someone in front of Edwards who can't beat a one-man route or get on and steal a couple of bases. Everyone's straight away against Blake Edwards. Slider right past Materia, and you don't need to worry about that. Runner at second base now. Sloppy, the Turks the last couple nights. A lot of easy bases on mistakes. Four fastballs and wild pitches last night. We're up to 3 right now. 1-0 pitch, foul straight back to the screen by Edwards. 1-1. Three runs on 6 hits, 3 errors for the Jacks. Really haven't paid for any of these errors yet. 1-1, hit harder down first base and a foul ball. Foul by about 6 inches. Broke his back. That would have been one of those backbreakers because Nichols was not going to be able to get that. It had a lot of English, was going to kick into foul territory immediately. I would have definitely played it a run. One ball, 2 strikes. Let's see if Morgan can dial up the strikeout here. Edwards a tough customer in that department. 1-2 fastball. Threw him away. And Edwards might have chased one a little high and a little out as well. Morgan's 4-seam fastball is very tough to handle. So 2 out. Herrera 0 for 2 on the night. That's walked once. Fastball, high for a ball. Jose will test whether you're throwing strikes or not.
Open base open though for him too, but your trailer's open.
1-1 and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. See, most of the pitches look up in the zone to Jose, but it's because Jose's down in the zone himself. Big cut there. Ahead by a couple, there's a time to just dig in and take a big cut. If you run into one, split a gap, who knows? 1-1 pitch. Foul back to the screen. Good pitch by Morgan. Got it a little in with a lot of heat on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And to this point of the at-bat, Morgan has not only got Carrera down, he has not shown in the slider yet. Got to get it in the spot where Matillia can handle it.
A lot of hard stuff.
1-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off third base side. Carrera hangs in there. One ball, 2 strikes. Bernard Brito at second. Walked just moments ago. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. McLean dives from his knees, throws to first, not in time. McLean may have saved the run by making the dive and stop there.
That's all you want to do in that situation. First, you know he's going to be safe, but you need to keep that ball on the infield when there is a runner on second base. Great play by McLean, even though no out was recorded.
Gobble it up. You know, if you're Covington, I think you've got to send Brito there either way, just to make Spitz the center field to throw it out. So now with runners at first and third, maybe the Jacks will play a little first-third chicanery. Pitch to O'Neill, fouled right back to the screen, a fastball. The Turks like to start the runner at first, have him go down 2/3 and get in a rundown, force the catcher to throw through, and then see if your runner from third can beat the return throw back to the plate. They're going to score about half the time. Fastball, slider, missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ideally, you want Morgan to take care of O'Neill and not worry about it. 1-1 pitch. Hopped up middle of the infield. McLean was underneath of it at shortstop, and he makes the catch.
Big out.
Huge out. 4-1 would feel like a sack of bricks, and 3-1 sounds a whole lot more manageable if you got a rally on your mind.
Come on, Kirk, let's rally here.
We do not want to see this season end. They've made it a heck of a lot of fun for us. Are we being selfish jerks? Probably. Bottom of the 9th inning, Strasburg and Front Royal still sitting on 2. Let's take a live look in at that one here. Game live. The bases are loaded for the Cardinals. And the final out has just been recorded. Grounded back to the mound, and Shell McLean is retired. So the bases were left loaded in the bottom of the 9th, and they'll go extras to see who survives. That is a playoff-looking ball game there for sure, because both teams are 3 pitchers deep, fighting for survival. Front Royal and Harrisonburg really, the mid part and the back part of the season, they each had their day, but it was Waynesboro out of the gate in the Scout League season at 12-1. And the Generals trying to play 500 the rest of the way and have gotten hot again here in the playoffs, just like they did last season. But the Generals won the Valley League Championship as the number 8 seed last year, so that certainly gives a club like Covington a realistic idea that it can be done because it has just been done. Bottom of the 8th inning. Bill Stokes continuing to mystify the Turks. 8-9-1 are due. That'll be Mitchell Matulia, Stephen McLean, and then Thomas Smith. See if this trio can get something started. Three to one Lumberjacks. Both teams have done a decent job of stranding the other. First pitch to Matulia. Popped up foul. Back behind us, no balls and 1 strike. Sitting on a dead red fastball there. He just got it in on the hands. Next pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 6th in Stanton. Charlestown still hanging on 5-2, trying to eliminate the Braves. 1-1 to Matulia. Missed outside. Bottom of the 7th. Let's see if the stretch has done the Turks good here. Matulia is 1-2. And tonight, 2 balls and 1 strike to Mitch. Pop foul, third base side out of play. Good hard breaking ball. Ended up about knee high in the inner part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 outs. Stokes has walked just 1 to go along with his 3 strikeouts. 2-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it on the cup to stay alive.
He has him one of the rare Turks base runners tonight. Got that opposite field single back in the 3rd inning after his failed bunt attempts. Be nice to see a leadoff base runner here. Turks have only had 2 leadoff base runners, and they've both been guys who've reached on errors.
Two-two pitch, base hit to right field. Tomahawk that one. The goal here is as easy as you placing your order in a field of field. I gotta ask you, what the heck you been waiting for, kid? So a nice bang single by Matulia to lead things off. And for that 3rd run, really needed something now because McLean would be in bunt mode. Now he's not. 3-1 Jacks. Good news for the Turks is anytime a runner reaches, at least bring the tie run to the plate each time. Pitch to Steven. Very high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. When Stokes has missed, he has missed. And that immediately brings a visit to the hill. There's a righty thrown down in the Jacks pen a little while ago. I think he's going to go back to the hill now and get warmed back up. When the coach is headed to the mound, does most of his glancing to the bullpen.
And a slow saunter at that, too.
Yes, saunter. Who created the word saunter? It really fits. It doesn't describe anything but a walk. Coach Weiss, hands on hips and visibly tense. He knows that so many years the underdogs have ruled the Valley League playoffs. And for those of us that have been at it for a while, You'd still wonder why. But I like one aspect of it, and it's the new season. It's a new coaching opportunity for the teams that have had a poor season. The Turks have been in the situation a couple of times where you're a low seed. It's just one more thing to play for. It's a clean slate. And the way the Jacks have played the Turks, we knew this was going to be a tough series. Pitch to McLean. Low for a ball. Gets away. Matulia going to go down to second. And he is in there. Matulia is called out on the overslide on second base. No argument from Mitch. No argument from Mitch whatsoever. Ball got away from Castro, and he got the counter anyway. Matulia's head first slide, kind of out to the right field side of the bag. Herrera put the tag on and kept the tag on him, and he overslid, and he is tagged out of there for out number one. 2-0 pitch to McLean. Little flare out towards center, getting down in a hurry. Moore on the run and makes the diving catch. The Nicholas Moore, really good right center. Very sticky on the catch. Nice play.
And ready to kill a rally in 2 pitches. Take the energy both out of the fans and the team.
Well, you cannot blame Matulia for going. You're making the right move. You just got to stay on the bat. You're the home catcher. No one knows what the overslides have been all year more than the home catcher. Got to slide to and through the bag and never lose contact with it. 2 outs now for Smith. Fastball in there for a strike. Bottom of the 7th. 3-1 Jacks. No balls and 1 strike to Thomas Smith. Down and in, nearly hit Smith. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thomas will be a senior at Georgia Tech. One of the steadiest players in the entire Atlantic Coast Conference. Position versatility. Everything that you want for your young Ramblin' Wreck guys to see. 1 ball and 1 strike. Big breaking ball stays way outside. 2-1. The game of inches. Matulia out at second by a hair on his chinny chin. And I'm really glad that Matulia didn't pop up arguing there. That tells you no controversy. He knows he was out. That's it. We don't need that. Neither team wants that. Two-1 to Smith. Outside, a little high as well. 3 balls and 1 strike. Smitty is a businessman. His business is baseball.
Getting on base.
His business has been good. 3-1 to Smith. Line down the right field line, twisting toward the foul line. It is just fouled by 3 or 4 feet. That would have been a dump me in the corner double. But the last couple nights have been really a war shoulda coulda, more so than so many parts of the season. Full count now to Thomas Smith. Thomas spits on deck. 2 players with just enough pop to their repertoire. You can't put something grooved down the middle or turn it around in a hurry on you. Let's see if Smith can set the table for Spitz to come to the plate. Stokes deals. Hopped up a mile high to left field. McCown is here to make the catch. Huge out there at second base. And then a great catch by Moore in center field. Pull the plug on a Turks rally. 7 innings in the books. Headed to the top of the 8th inning. Covington hanging on. 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. Turks got 1 in the 4th. And the story for the Turks has been runners left on base, missed opportunities. Great pitching effort by Phil Stokes. It's a very solid defensive play by Covington. They have made some errors, but they've also mopped it up nicely with some good defensive plays to go along with it. Top of the 10th inning, 3-2, the Express. Got the train on the tracks and put the Cardinals up against it once again. Still batting there at Green Crosby Stadium. The Express made it all the way to the finals in an unlikely way last year. And here they are again trying to overcome the Valley League opponents and Mother Nature to get back to their home field at some point. 3-2 over Front Royal. The Cardinals were 3-7 in their final 10 or something like that. The Cardinals kind of not only dropped the foot, they weren't playing good baseball at the end, and the run scoring has really dried up for Front Royal, much like it has for Harrisonburg. So 3-2, Strasburg going to try and erase a 2-0 deficit. I think Front Royal got 2 in the first tonight too. 9 straight innings of zeros. Brett Morgan still chucking it for the Turks. It's going to be Grant McCown, Hayden Platt, and Jonathan Flores. Turks need the string of zeros we've seen many times out of the bullpen. Strings of zeros. The offense gives a chance to come back. Fastball just missed on the inside. 1-0 to McCown. McCown from Florida Tech. Rangy right-hand swinger. 1-0 pitch. Low for a ball. 2-0. Pitch is high for a ball. 3-0. I would say there's a very short hook on Brett Morgan. He had just a head scratcher of a night with double-digit walks, despite throwing very well. There weren't many hits off of him. He had a huge number of walks. 2 outings ago, there's a strike in the outside corner, so the Turks are not in a situation to take much risk on that. If he's in the zone, there's no question the talent. 3-1 pitch is inside corner for strike 2.
Good reliever too, goes from the stretch for every pitch.
Good running fastball there, nearly ran too far off the plate, ended up being a bat breaker kind of strike on the inside corner. 3-2 to McCown. See if Morgan can battle back and get it here. Chopped up the middle. Big second hop from McLean. What a first in time. Steven McLean. That's a young man that's done a whole lot of growing up here in the course of this season. That's exactly what we want to see. You Baylor Bear fans, you're getting a good one. As Mel Kiper, the NFL draft expert, would say, he's got a big upside. Very big upside. Hayden Platt. Batter now. Fastball lined out in center field for a base knock. Good swing by Platt. Going to pull his hands in, barrel it up.
17 straight innings without a 1-2-3 inning for the Turks on defense.
I bring up Jonathan Flores now.
Right fielder, Jonathan Flores.
Very curious if Bill Stokes will head back to the Hills. Pitch count is in the middle 90s. And the Turks will have 2, 3, 4 coming up. But you got to get out of fastballs. One on this. Flores tardy. If Morgan can throw that pitch to right-handers, he's going to be pretty happy with the results. It looks like it's a fastball in the inner half, and it moves about 4 or 5 inches even further in, but still stays in the strike zone. Slider swung on and missed. Some late dip and break. Morgan, the second-year Turk, he had a good season here last summer on a loaded pitching staff. When you look at the previous year's pitching staff, and even going back a couple of years, and you look at them and say, that guy's a pro, that guy's a pro, that guy's a pro. 0-2, swung on and missed, and Morgan got absolutely dominant there for a trio of pitches.
More specific update on the Williams Stanton there from our league correspondent Brian Reese. Charlestown's had a number of defensive plays outstanding. A 3-run homer for Charlie Powell is a difference. Powell's 3 for 3 tonight with a home run and 2 infield singles. 6-2 Charlestown, bottom 7. 5-2 Charlestown.
Here comes Demetrius Moore now. He's got 2 great catches in center, sacrifice fly, fastball inside corner for strike 1.
And the Strasburg run on the top of the 10th was on a Brandon Harvell home run.
Road home run. That's called a silencer. That gets the home crowd out of it quick.
Gunnar McNeil's also 3 for 3 down in Stanton.
Line drive base hit to right field. Good swing by Moore. Barr is up with it. And he'll keep him on a 90-foot move up. So runners at first and second with 2 outs. Good speed on first with Moore, but not particularly good speed there with McCown at second. That's the most important one. Here comes Shane Castro now. Castro is 0 for 3, but if there's a time to go 1 for 4, this is definitely it. Moore just got his first hit. Morgan has been really fastball slider primarily, occasional changeup. Popped up a mile high, left side of the infield. Rose, the third baseman, makes the call. Dancing around out there, and Matt stays with it, makes the catch. That's the highest pop up of the season right there. That one was visible from Covington if you look out the window to the north. Good. 2 runners left on for the Jacks. This LOB number getting large for both teams right here. Bottom of the 8th inning. I'm looking at the Jacks dugout to see if Phil Stokes is going to come out. So the Turks are going to get into the bullpen or not. And Phil Stokes will head back to the hill. 8th inning, 3-1 Jacks. Turks trying to stave off elimination. And the Jacks trying to pull the only kind of upset you can match in the Valley, the top upset, 8-1. But the 8 has beaten the 1 over and over and over. The Turks were the 1 and were beaten by Waynesboro the 8 last year in 2 straight close games. The Generals not only had the momentum in that series, they kept it for the magical 10-day period to win a championship. It's been about 4 years. I think we had Covington and Rockbridge that met in the finals. It was either 6 versus 8 or 7 versus 8.
So was Strasburg last year, obviously.
I think Strasburg was a 5 or 6.
Only broke 8.
Yeah, Strasburg had a pretty good season, but they really came on late. They had the Valley League MVP, Jordan Tarsevich. 414 and 402 for Gunnar McNeil this year. I think that's the first time in quite a while since he's been back-to-back 400 seasons, 400 hitters in the league. Corey Spangenberg a few years ago dropped below 400 on the final day of the regular season by going 1 for 5. He's at Double-A for the Padres right now. He was drafted 10th overall, the highest value rated ever. Here comes Spitz now. See if Thomas can get it going. Spitz, Nichols, and Rose. 2, 3, 4 against Phil Stokes. Just 5 hits allowed for Stokes and 1 run. This pitch misses outside.
It was a good spot in the lineup to start a rally.
It's really one of the first times it hasn't been kind of all or nothing. We've had a lot of them start with Matt Rose, or start with Mitchell Latulia. We started with the 4, started with the 8.
Started with Rose, 1 with Christopher Barr, 1 with McLean, 1 with Latulia.
Next pitch misses inside, 2-0.
1 with Nichols, now 1 with Spitz.
See if Spitz can be very selective here for Stokes to come to him. 0 for 3 for Spitz. 2-0 pitch on the way. Chop down third base way. Brito backs up. Spitz is digging it out. For the first is drops there at first base. There's going to be an error on the first baseman there. Brito had a strong throw and just threw it out of Hayden Platt's gloves. So the Turks just handed one on a silver platter there.
Trigger leadoff base runners, all three of their leadoff base runners have been the benefits of an error.
And that's another stat. When you see that, you're like, how do they only have one run? It's because Stokes has come through with the great pitches to follow.
Actually, their four leadoffs remain to reach, but three of those four have been errors, and they're handing it to these Turks. So this is where you got to rally and take advantage of it.
Pitch to Nichols. Hit hard in the right pitch for a base hit. Great time for him just to barrel one up and get his first hit. He's really been struggling against the lefties, and Stokes left that one up, and Nichols jumped all over it. Here comes Matt Rose now. Rose scorched one to deep right his last time up.
I'm guessing this might be, Stokes might be gone now. Kind of taking his time on the mound.
Well, if you like this matchup, and you probably haven't seen Matt Rose hit all year, that's all I gotta say.
Big Ten's one with quick interjection. Strasburg did just win. So Turks win, and we're playing Strasburg.
Pitch to Rose. Swung on and missed, and that was a dead full hit it out of here swing. I don't blame him a bit.
I don't either.
No balls and one strike. There's about a dozen fans over the fence in deep left field. They'd like to see him park one there if he could. But the Turks need to get a couple runs to tie this thing anyway, let alone take a lead. 0-1 pitch. Grounded up the middle. Carrera has got it at second. For the first in time. 4-6-3 double play. And Spitz a good hit with third on the play. Good clutch defense once again. Bang, bang play at first. And here comes Eric Kelfleisch. Kelfleisch has stayed in pretty well. He's 2 for 3
Double
against Stokes. He's seen him pretty well compared to most of the lefties. Getting one here would be huge.
That double was scorched.
Stokes to Kelfleisch. High and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. One 0 pitch to Eric. High again. 2 balls and no strikes. Luke Chikowski on deck. Kelfleisch scored the Turks' only run in the 4th. Two 0 pitches, low for a ball, so 3-0. Certainly going to have a take here. We'll see what happens on 3-1. Ball 4 outside, and Kelfleisch looks as disappointed to walk as anything. I think he wanted
to be a strike.
Yeah, he wanted that to be a strike. He stood there and looked back at the home plate umpire. You know a lefty's not afraid of a lefty pitcher when he wants to still be up there versus a walk. We're going to have a visit to the hill and a pitching change for the Lumberjacks. The only thing accomplished is that the Turks have gotten Stokes out of the game. Rose has hit a couple of balls hard, smashed one to left, that hooked back to the left fielder, smashed one to right, and then lines into a one-hop double play. Phil Stokes gets a deserved round of applause as he leads the mound for Covington. We got a right-hander coming in. Luke Chikowski is the hitter due for the Turks here. Runners at first and third.
You almost wonder if Baker isn't at full health or whatnot, 2-pinch run over there at first base for Cal Fleisch because he is the tying run.
Well, I just don't think you want to take Cal Fleisch out of the lineup, yeah. Especially now that the righty's in.
You got Jones on the bench, Roach on the bench, and Baker.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 2 outs and 2 on, runners at first and third. The righty Cody Strayer from Shawnee State is in the ballgame. We saw Strayer the other day as well.
Third straight appearance, and he's pitching every game so far. Got the save last night and allowed the 2 runs to start in the 8th inning on in game 1. Kind of funky sidearm delivery. Almost like throwing a frisbee. Got some weird spin on the pitch.
Yeah, his lead leg, which for him would be his left leg, instead of stepping forward, he kind of steps and slides out.
And he kicks his right leg back, almost like you're kind of doing your bowling. Picks up a lot of dirt with that right leg. 6-3 Charlestown now. Staten has scored a run in the bottom of the 7th.
That series continues at 5 runs is not enough. 3-1 Jackson. A huge double play in the middle of this inning, really the difference. Spitz and Nichols reach. Rose smashed one at Carrera handle, turned into a 4-6-3 double play. We do have a pinch hitter for the Turks. Chakowski has been pulled back, and now this is all about matchups. Lefty, righty, and Roach has not played in about 4 or 5 days. Days, not games. I think he hasn't played in 3 games.
What's good about Chakowski is he was a designated hitter, so it is kind of a free pinch hit. You don't have to worry about pinch hitting defensively and losing 2 subs or whatever.
Tough duty for Roach. Let's see if he can come in and get his timing. I saw him take a pretty good BP today. Strayer deals in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike.
The pitch does look like it's kind of floating. It does have a very frisbee look to it.
Kind of got some underspin on with that release point. No balls and 1 strike to Joey Roach. A couple of home runs on the year for Joey. Hop foul, third base side out of play, 0-2. What you got to be careful with here with the side armor is that when it comes at you with the breaking ball, it's often not only got some break to it, or instead of on a flat plane, it will also slow down. Change of speed and a break to it. That's the gimmick that makes the side armors very effective. 0-2 pitch way outside. Castro was set up at the coast of Cuba.
Hit the target, but
Yeah, he just hit the target, but the target was way out there. You can't blame him. Runners at first and third for the Turks. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joey Roach. 1-2 is way outside again. 2-2. See some good patience from Roach and get one in his wheelhouse to do something with. 1 run would be huge for the Turks to really give themselves a shot in the bottom of the 9th. They're looking for more than that. 2-2 pitch. Popped up to right field, a mile high. Just missed. Giving it a ride. Instead of in the books, headed from the top of the 9th inning. Covington hanging on. Great pitching effort from Phil Stokes. Nice relief from Cody Strayer to get him out of trouble. 2 runners left on for Harrisonburg. Turks up to about 10 or 11 runners left on tonight, at least.
got 8.
We had the bases loaded and 3 in the last couple of innings. That's 6 in 2 innings I can figure out. Brett Morgan headed back to the hill for the Turks. Jacks could definitely use an insurance run. 3-1. The pitching has really done it. And we're going to have another season full of upsets. Strasburg has already taken care of the front row of Cardinals so far. We'll step out for a quick break. Back in a minute with more Turks baseball. 9th inning, game 3 of series number 1. Oh.
8 left on.
Third baseman Bernard Brito.
Top of the ninth inning, Bernard Brito will lead off. First pitch swung on and fouled back. Got a piece of the home plate umpire and maybe Roach too. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looks like
May have broken a piece of the umpire's mask off.
knocking the cobwebs out there a little bit.
Honda is throwing in Turk's bullpen.
3-1 Jacks. Turks have had plenty of chances. Covington has just been one play away from getting in trouble, and they seem to have gotten out of it. Bill Stokes has made some big pitches in big spots. And that huge double play there. Rose has got as much a tough luck over as you're going to ever see.
Yeah, they practice when nobody's home.
3 runs on 9 hits for Covington. 4 errors. They put enough band-aids on the errors. Not really paid the price for them. Slider swung on underneath Matula's ball, but it's no balls and 2 strikes. One run on 6 hits, 2 errors for the Turks. Neither team tidy on the defensive side. 0-2 pitch, strike 3 call on the outside corner. Nice pink to black fastball. And Devo is out of there. So 1 down for Blake Edwards now. 1 for 3 with a couple of steals for Blake.
Shortstop Blake Edwards.
Morgan fires. Foul back to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Edwards digs back in there. Morgan fires again. Slider low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 9th inning. Fastball nearly hit Edwards in the helmet. Morgan very wild with that one. Edwards' eyes got big, and more importantly, he got the heck out of there. Hop foul right side on the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oregon has struck out 3 and walked 1. And 2 1/3. Actually, no, he struck out 4 and walked 1.
Stanton ended up getting 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning, so it's now a 6-5 ball game, and Stanton top of 8.
Boy, carbon copy games in this series. 2-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. Full count. Don't want to walk Edwards. He can get himself in scoring position. Doesn't need anyone else's help. You'd almost rather put one down the middle and take your chances with the outcome. 3-2 popped up. Right side of the infield. Matula comes over into foul territory. Overran it, and it falls. Nichols and Matula have had a heck of a time here on the first base side. That's another ball. It's got to be caught. And it remains 3-2 to Edwards. Just Turks having a sloppy start and a sloppy finish here. I hope I'm wrong and the season will continue somehow. They've definitely given Covington plenty of outs to work with here tonight. 3-2 popped up foul out of play. Good scrappy at bat for Edwards. Had him out and refused to take it. He's still standing. 3-2 for Morgan again. Grounded out towards second base. Big second hop for Smith. And he throws out Edwards.
Morgan's done a good job of when he's getting in those deep 3-2 counts, still has given a viable pitch to retire the batter. Twice he's done that so far. First time he worked back from a 3-0 count to make that happen as well.
Well, can the Turks break the 1-2-3
I was going to say the
string
same
here?
thing. Break the string and then get the win in the bottom half.
Jose Carrera digs in now.
It'll be tough out to do it.
Jose's 1 for 3. Fastball a little bit high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Down and in for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Carrera, like Edwards, if he reaches, he can certainly steal a bag, get himself in scoring position. 2-0 pitch, that's right in there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Matt O'Neill on deck. Two-one pitch. Fouled off, third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. For the Turks in the bottom of the 9th. Christopher Barr, Mitchell Matulia, and Stephen McLean are due. 7, 8, 9. Needing at least 2, depending on how this works out. Foul back to the screen again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Hit down the left field line, twisting, and that's going to be a foul ball, about 6 feet foul. Down in the corners here of this ballpark are where mysterious things happen. That's going to be at least 2. Instead, it's just a foul ball. And Carrera will come on back to the batter's box. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Scoreboard Yahtzee again, number 2 at the plate, 2-2 count, 2 outs.
2-run deficit. Morgan deals. Big curve, strike 3 call. Nice late break and raise him up. 5 strikeouts for Morgan. You can't knock what you got out of the bullpen.
You're going to 1 through 3 innings. If there's anything for the offense to rally around, there you go. Changes on the horizon. That would be 17 straight innings. They have not have 1 through 3 innings on the defensive side. If they finally get one, it's time for the bats to come alive.
Good strong finish for Brett Morgan, and he's a guy who he won't be back for a 3rd season as a Turk. He's going to be a senior next year. He had 2 good seasons in Harrisonburg. He finished his Turks career on a high note, pitching well, a string of zeros to give the club a chance to come back.
Going to go back to the hill and pull around save.
Well, the thing with Strayer, Joe, is that front row had a couple of sidearm type guys, very similar to Strayer, and the Turks did pretty well against them. The Turks stayed in there and rated them pretty good. So in a 2-run ball game, you certainly want to be very selective, make a guy throw some strikes.
Especially with the first 2 guys in the office inning, 2 lefties.
Yeah, Barr and Matulia. And Matulia's got 2 hits on the game. Barr had a couple of hits last night.
Barr and Matulia can reach. Don't be surprised if we see a single clean bunt. If your owner's in scoring position or out the order, Smith.
Yeah. Definitely got some, Smith has got some huge, he's got some huge clutch hits in him. And really, to me, the sleeper on the bench, maybe in these next couple of hitters here. You got Barr and Matulia. The matchup is lefty righty, and you want to keep that. But Baker has had so many big time. I think if the order was shaken out differently, you might see Baker, because despite the fact he's hit for a low average, he does have some great hits on the season to tie and win games. Yes, whatever rally cap you've got, Turks Nation, put it on.
Here we go, boys!
3-1 Lumberjacks. Bottom of 9 elimination game. Christopher Barr will lead it off. Thought about bunting, pulled it back to the ball down low. Brito, the third baseman, extremely deep.
Are you in a take a strike situation here? I think so.
I would think.
You have seen the Turks, early tackers, and some at bats.
Very high for the ball. So 2-0 from Strayer. I definitely think you put it on the shoulder here.
Very selective. I think Coach Weeks just gave Barr the take sign. Any way you can. Base runners is what you need because they will come around and score.
Tie run to the plate the minute you get one on. 2-0 from Strayer. Squared around, took the ball outside. I think that little square around is bugging Strayer a touch. And Barr's got the take two if there's a sign. Strayer deals to 3-0. There's a strike outside corner. No question about that one. It's kind of a live clap from the Covington fans.
You know, there's a hitter's count when you're trailing like this, especially on the 3-1. It's got to be right where you want it.
Yeah, got to be on a tee. 3-1 pitch. Popped out towards center field. Moore, does he see it? Yes, he sees it. Okay, he makes the catch. That has palm to the sky if the guy didn't see it. Fly ball from Barr to Moore for out number 1. And that'll bring up Mitchell Matulia. Barr's kind of been scooping under the ball quite a bit when he gets something up in the zone. Had a couple nice line drive hits last night. Matulia with 2 hits already. Fastball high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
You wonder what would happen if Matulia hadn't overslid second base back in the 7th inning after his leadoff single. You'd be at 1-1 ball game to just totally change the landscape of everything.
Hit pretty deep out toward right, going to be playable though. Underneath it, and back to out number 2 by Jonathan Flores. So 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Stephen McLean. Covington trying to pull the 8-1 first round upset. Close games all year with the Jacks. The Turks by no means overlooked Covington. They have just played better. Inside for ball 1 to McLean. 1 ball, no strikes.
Sure, especially being a 3-year Turk and a leader, Thomas Smith at least one more chance to have a say in this game.
That would be high
theater. Be at the plate if he does get up.
Ball 2 missed inside. Strayer's got a lot of run on his pitches, and that one just kind of ran off the inside corner. Good work by the home plate umpire.
He may have had to do a little bit on that one too, get on base anyway.
2-0 pitch. Hit out towards center field, getting down in a hurry. Here comes Moore, and he missed the catch. Number 3. 3 fly balls. The 3 stung pretty good. But a little too good. The Turks go 1-2-3 in the ninth here. The 2013 season, NNL comes to an end. It will be yet another year until someone gets a shot at winning the pennant in the Rhine Meter playoff trophy. They have a coming 30-16 season for the Turks. Comes to a close. So Covington will move on to play Waynesboro, who gets the lowest remaining seed, which is the Lumberjacks. Turks taking hands with the Jacks. 3 nail-biter close ball games. 3-1 Turks, 4-2 Jacksons. 3-1 Jacks to close out the series. Year of upsets. So the 6th seed and the 8th seed are alive. And the 5 seed Charlestown is also about to go an upset. Waynesboro, the only of the high seed. The whole series, officially the whole series so far, is something they need a rally to get it done. Congratulations to the Covington Lumberjacks. A very good baseball down the stretch. And really shut down a powerful Turks lineup, especially in the late innings, which no one has been able to do.
Some by Covington, Turks just couldn't turn the corner against them. Something low scoring games against them. 7 games, didn't score more than 5 runs, more than 4 runs.
Really, the fate of the Turks laid in the Jacks' hands, who took a forfeit in their final game of the season, and they took the loss.
You're all set to play Aldi in Covington.
Yeah, would have been the Turks versus Aldi, and the Jacks. I don't know why maybe they wanted to avoid the travel, or they felt comfortable with the Turks for the boat.
They either play Waynesboro or Harrisonburg. Waynesboro was closer for them. So.
Waynesboro was closer, and really, I didn't look at the matchup between Waynesboro and the Turks. The difference is that they played Harrisonburg extremely tough. We were always baffled all year long how they could be down there in the 7 or 8 hole when they looked every bit as good as the teams in the 4 and 5 slot. You never know. They get the wins. Coach Lee's having his final talking year with the club, and a lot of times this is about, guys, we didn't max out what we could have been. You won the pennant, which he values more, and I'm sure he's going to tell them that right now, is that, he feels that they're the best team, having won the pennant over 43 games in this case. But it's tough because the best teams don't always win the playoffs, and that's been the trend in the Valley League for a decade now. Covington having their first game fair down there. Continue to try and go on with an 8 seed, having won the championship last year in Waynesboro. I don't think Waynesboro is going to sleep on the Lumberjacks because they know how a team can catch fire.
Waynesboro won both of their games in style over Aldi. Nothing close there. Really put them away. I think Aldi is Waynesboro's here to play, and they want 2 in a row.
The pitching and the timely hitting have been the Waynesboro formula. They've gotten hot like they were to start the season. The last time you'll hear Donna Lewis singing "I'm a Turks fan" here at the ballpark, and it's been a great season. I mean, it ends on a downer, and the season comes to a sudden end like it always does in the Valley League in the 3-game best-of-3 playoff format. But you always want to look big picture and say, hey, this team took us on a 30-win ride this summer, and that was a team that started 5-5, making errors left and right. So, boy, to turn around for the team, and really took 5-5 with the record-setting number of errors to turn it around and have. I think we had 4 separate 5-game or more winning streaks along the way.
Yeah. 12 out of 14 was an incredible run. It's been a great summer, and I thought we could do it. I've been good at bringing teams luck. For my first freshman year, I ended the being basketball draft, being a part of that and whatnot. But I thought it would be a championship season, but tough way to end it.
Well, but the pennant is harder to win than the championship. There are teams in the Valley League who have never won a pennant, Joe. Never with capital letters.
So the winners don't get rings. So
no, that's
so
true.
Nowadays, to emphasize the playoff championship.
Yeah, it is. But 44 games to decide seeding, basically, in a 3-game series. I mean, the Valley League used to be 3-game series, 3-game series, and then a 5-game series for the championship, which really tests the depth of the teams and all of that good stuff. But now in a first-round 3-game format, boy, you can really give the underdog has a fighting chance, and they've taken the most of it. They've definitely made the most of it. So, see Matt Weiss down there, tough times. Matt and Bob, it's father son. Another summer in the books, a tough one in this case. The way it ends, because the Turks just didn't really rise up in the playoffs like you'd like them to see. But Covington's pitching definitely did. They're not a team that was as consistent as we saw them pitching-wise, and I think. Sending a lefty to the mound tonight in Phil Stokes was very smart because they certainly got a read on last night where the Turks struggled to make solid contact off a lefty.
Yeah, I don't know if Covington did their homework and realized how well or how poorly Harrisonburg hit against lefties, but rarely do you see 3 lefties in a row go to the mound, and that's just because teams don't have that many lefties, but Covington did, and that 3 lefties just totally stifle the Harrisonburg offense. 6 runs in 3 games. 6 runs.
Yeah, and that may be the lowest 3-game stretch of the season.
I mean, Turks many a time put 6 runs in an inning.
Yeah, and on the back half from the 6th inning on, which had been the Turks' calling card, I mean, Covington even got decent relief pitching when they had to go to the bullpen. So very nice work here by the Lumberjacks to win the first round series, and good luck to them going on. So I'll take on the Waynesboro Generals. Strasburg will take on the winner of the Charlestown and Stanton games. I'll refresh my screen here, see where they are. That game was it's now in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Braves batting. Charlestown is hanging on to a 6-5 lead. I definitely think that Strasburg is going to have their hands full. I've kind of become a Strasburg fan now, considering all that they've been through. All they've been through. Definitely a cool story. So we are going to step out for a break, and see if we can get down there and rouse Coach Weiss for us. He's always been very good about joining us on the good days and the bad days and everything in between. And on the final say of the regular season should always come from the top guy if you're able to get it. So stick with us, folks. We'll be back with the Lowe's post-game show in just a minute. Covington secures the win here in Game 3, and they put the Turks away for the season, pennant and all. The number 8 seeds have been batting more than 500 for about a decade here in the Valley League as far as pulling the upset. So stick with us. We'll try and have Coach Weiss on here with some thoughts to end the season. And welcome back to the Lowe's Post Game Show. Dave Norman with Coach Weiss here, and it's never easy when you come up short in the playoffs, Coach, and it's always hard to remind yourself that another 30-win season has gone by the wayside.
Yeah, well, I'm a little frustrated with the last two nights. We should have won the ball game the last two nights, and I don't know. We had a couple bad base running moves tonight. Couldn't execute the bunt. Ball gets hit off the center field fence, or the right center field fence, and the runner goes back to second base to tag up. It's a line drive. I mean, you don't go back to tag up on a line drive like that. You don't even know if the fielder's going to catch it or not. And what happens when he goes back there, they retrieve the ball, get it into second, and the guys on third. We were lucky they didn't turn a double play there because Mitch was running on it, and I'm yelling at Mitch to stay at second, and of course Thomas stays at first. He would have had a double. We would have scored a run there, and we'd have had men on second and third.
Yeah, and really with the boppers coming up, that's the kind of inning that's mushroomed from 2 runs to 5 real fast all year.
Yeah, and of course I rolled the dice there, and I think it was the 8th inning with Matt Rose. We had men on first and second. I think it was nobody out. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nobody out, and I elected to let him hit instead of bunt. And you look back now and you say, gosh, I wish I would have bunted him. But Matt's been our man all year long. He hit the ball hard 3 times tonight, and I rolled the dice, and it didn't work.
Well, that is the play there because he's been splitting gaps all year long, and there's been men on base. He's been driving them in. So, I mean, I think it would have been unorthodox to have him bunt there the way he stumped the ball all over the yard. And, the thing about this time of year, you're always looking at your roster and saying, well, we had some guys that had great summers, some guys that didn't, thinking about who wants to come back and who might come back, and you get into that again.
Yeah, well, a lot of the guys want to come back, and I think most of them will. I mean, I think they've had a good summer, but, these guys have already played probably 60 ball games at school and probably another 45 here, so 47 here. So, you're looking at 100 ball games.
Yeah.
The guys, they want a couple of weeks off before they go back to school. And, that's understandable. I just wish they would get it out for me. I think we tried to win the ball game, but we just didn't execute. The last 2 nights we definitely did not execute. I mean, with me, of course, I'm old school. And if you can't bunt, you can't play for me because you've got to be able to get the bunt down. And we've had trouble with that all year long. I mean, I think tonight was the first time in 4 or 5 games that we got 3 hitters out in a row. I mean, every time you look up, the pitcher, first batter's on base, and it's hard to beat a team.
It was 17 innings. It was finally broken in the 9th there. 17 straight innings where we did not get them 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
And that is so unlike Turks baseball.
That's just unbelievable. So, but, I thought we had a well-pitched ball game, and I think we should have won it. But
well, it was good to see Brett Morgan finish his Turks career on a high note, struck out a bunch of guys, and a nice string of zeros like you want to put on the board when you've got a rally in you.
Yeah, it's Brett's been a good player for us. He really has. I like Brett. I wish him nothing but the best. But it's hard to walk out of this ballpark tonight because you never know what next year brings. I hate to say goodbye to players. I really do because you don't know if you'll ever see them again. Logan Ondale, Thomas Smith. I love Thomas Smith.
Yeah, Thomas he's the all-time Turk.
He's an all-time Turk, and he will always remain in my heart because I love the kid just like I love my son. I mean, everything I've ever asked out of Thomas Smith, he's done.
He is all about the ball game. He's a great teammate.
To me, Thomas Smith is the most valuable player in the Valley League, and God be with him. And I hope next year he gets drafted. I just hope Georgia Tech puts him at second base and leaves him there. And if they do, he will get drafted because he's another David Eckstein. He's just a quality ball player, good person, a good range, hits the ball, and I think he's got a good future.
Yeah, every time you look up, he's doing what you need him to do. And sometimes you need him to go deep into a count, or other times you need him to be hacking and hit behind a runner, whatever it might be. He is just a lot of teams are built with the middle of the lineup with players that you consider the bricks. Thomas Smith is the mortar on teams.
Oh, Thomas Smith, I'm telling you, he was a walk-on at Georgia Tech. It's just like David Eckstein. David Eckstein was a walk-on at Florida. What does he do? He ends up in the big leagues 12, 14 years, most valuable player in the World Series. But Thomas Smith is the same kind of ball player. You've got to watch Thomas to really appreciate how good he really is.
Yep, game in, game out. He always does something to help you win. And situational play, probably as good as you're going to get.
Yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to help Thomas along. I really am. I'm going to write a letter to the White Sox. I used to do some work for the White Sox, and I still know some of the people. So we're going to try to get Thomas a shot anyway.
Yeah, just a free agent look, and then someone will realize if they didn't draft him, they'll realize they missed on him and say, okay, this guy's a little too good to not be in the lineup all the time.
That's for sure.
Definitely is.
But I think the kids had a good summer. At least in fact, I know they did. They had a great summer. They were in apartments. They played a lot of baseball, and we had a good time. And I'm not sorry about our season. I'm sorry we didn't go farther in the playoffs because I think we're the best team in the Valley League, and we showed it during the regular season. We won the pennant. We've won the pennant the last 3 out of 4 years, and we won the championship 1 year. But this year, I honestly thought we'd win the whole thing. I really did.
Yeah, it looked like a year where the Turks could sweep it, but the first round has been a mystery for several years, and I got to give the lower seeds that have been able to keep their roster together and keep their spirits high. Covington did a decent job. They got pitching that came out of nowhere here in these 3 games. They did a great job, and when it's all said and done, they made the plays they had to make, and Harrisonburg did not. So
we did not make the play.
They move on because they did the little things when they had to.
Well, base running killed us. It's what killed us. Guys, you just can't run the bases, can't bunt. And you just got to be able to bunt if you're going to play this ball game.
Yeah, and I think it's important with your style of play. This is not a team that had a lot of team speed this year, but when you've got to get a late inning bunt down, that's not about speed. It's just all about doing it right. But year in, year out, we just had a boatload of talent the last few years, and you've done a great job with your relationships in the SEC, the ACC, and Wingate and places like that of just getting a nice balanced lineup.
Yeah, but you got to win it. You got to win the playoffs.
Yep.
I mean, especially with the ball players we had. Of course, we lost a lot of pitching. We lost Llewellyn and Brandon Gold and I don't know, several other guys that went down with arm problems or innings, pitched too many innings. It's just not very happy right now. I'm really not. Of course, I'm second guessing myself on the Matt Rose situation of bunting. We're not bunting.
No, don't second guess yourself, Coach. Having a thumper, trying to turn a thumper into a bunter here in the final in the playoffs. Nah, you did the right thing.
Well, you look back and you say, hey, what if?
Well, he's been splitting the gaps all year, and he came close to splitting one right there. So.
I honestly thought Matt would. I honestly thought he'd really get into one. I really did.
Well, game 1, it's 1-1, couple of runners on, and he hits his regular laser up the left center alley. So. Right. There's your answer right there.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people I'm sure say, well, why didn't he bunt? Why didn't he bunt? But I'm the boss, and I made the call, and I take the blame.
No blame to be had there. I think 100 times you let a swinger swing. That's his style. If you'd have flashed him the bunt sign there, he'd have shot you the glance from hell.
Yeah, well, probably so. But we'd have had the bases loaded with 1 out, and. Didn't work out. So
now is Matt? Is he a player that could be back next year also?
Matt can come back next year. I think Matt will come back if he does not get drafted.
Sure.
He was drafted out of high school, I think in the 20th or the 21st round as a pitcher.
Sure.
The guy has a super arm, and I think Matt's going to have a nice future too. I think we'll see him in the big leagues one day.
Yeah, he's
not as a hitter, but as a pitcher.
Yeah, and Georgia State, the last couple of years, our Georgia State guys, and it was really unfortunate that Garrett Ford had to go home early. He was having a great season for us too.
Yeah, well, our pitching, to be honest with you, our pitching did a good job for us.
Yeah,
I mean the guys that stayed. I mean, we only gave up 4 runs tonight.
Sure.
4 runs. Was it 4 or 3?
It was 3-1 final.
3-1 final. Yeah. I mean, last night we gave up 4, and we should have given those up last night.
Yes, and you got some sloppy play in the field.
Yeah, I mean, you were there. You saw what happened. Yeah. We had poor base running again last night, and I don't know. It's just not used to poor base running.
Yeah, definitely the concentration part of it, the fundamentals can get you beat when the team's got a pitcher on the hill holding you down a little bit.
Well, the left-hander, he did a good job. He kept us down. The center fielder made 3 or 4 nice plays.
Yes, he did.
Thomas Smith, again, I go back to Thomas. He hit that ball hard in the first inning.
Yeah.
I mean, that ball's off the wall. It's 400 feet to center field. The guy went up on the wall and made the overhead a catch that was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, that sets the table right there.
Yeah, definitely
And,
does.
you know, we would have scored in the first inning because what would have happened, Thomas Spitz on the next pitch hits a ball in the hole shortstop. The shortstop would have been over towards second a couple more feet, and the ball would have gone through and we would have scored. But it's the little things in baseball that win games.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the big things.
Definitely is, and it's the cumulative little things can beat you or make you the winner.
Yeah, but well, I hate to leave this park. I really do. You know, I'm 70 years old, and God be with me. I hope I can come back next year.
Well, come on.
I hope we don't get fired.
Well, you know, I know how you are. A couple weeks to chew on it, and then you'll get back to burning up the phone lines and figuring out what the 2015 Turks look like.
Yeah, well, we have 19 guys that can come back off this team, and I've spoken to each one of them, and I think we're going to have a lot of them back. So hopefully we'll have another good ball club next year.
Well, that's good, and a lot of developing players, whether it's a Stephen McLean or Christopher Barr or Ben Parr, or some of these youngins have got such bright futures, and they can get a little bit better. You know, McLean's a kid that really grew up during the course of this season. He needed all these at-bats. He needed all these innings, and he's going to be a fantastic player in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll play a lot at Baylor this year, and I wish him nothing but the best. He comes from a nice family. His family's very nice, his mother and father, and you know, I wish them the best too. You know, hope they stay in touch with me. If they're out there listening, I want to say hello to you, and thank you for bringing your son up here. I'm very impressed with your son. He's a good kid, and you're very fortunate to have a kid like this.
No doubt about it. So it ends on a somber note, and Coach, I really appreciate you joining me here on the Lowe's Post Game Show. Anybody can come up with a smile on their face after a big win, but when you've had a great season and it ends poorly, I really appreciate you coming up and giving the fans just a perspective on this team and just how the boys have a bright future regardless how it ended here.
Yeah, well, you know, it's all about the kids. So, you know, hopefully these kids have gotten better and they'll go on to better things after college and maybe on into the pros.
Well, and the legacy of Turks being pros is just long and proven, and it continues just on and on. In the off-season, folks, follow the Harrisonburg Turks on Facebook. Look at all things Valley League, and you'll see that while the Valley League might be the gateway to the majors, about a third of the players in the minor leagues are Harrisonburg Turks out of the Valley League.
That's good. It really is. I mean, it makes your heart warm. I don't know. I got a little frustrated tonight, and I just hope I just wish the best things for all the kids. I really do.
Definitely. Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in here in 2014. Coach, thanks for joining us here on the Post Game.
Oh, you're welcome. But, you know, the hardest thing for me is to say goodbye to the kids. You know, when I'm in the huddle down there tonight, you know, I'm telling them, you know, great season, you know, we had some mistakes tonight. That's the reason we lost the ball game. And then I get choked up because it's just so hard for me to say goodbye to these kids. You never know how or if you're ever going to see them again, you know, because they come in here and they play and then they're gone. And you always wonder in your heart, you know, what happened to them.
Yeah, a lot of them stay in touch, and it's easier with social media to stay in touch, and you'd like to see them develop as men and as ball players. But, you know, once you're part of Turks Nation, you got that itch.
Yeah, you're right, and hopefully, you know, they'll stay in touch, and I wish them all the best.
Well, thank you, Coach.
Okay, Coach, thank you. All right, boys. Well, guys, thank you all. Thank you all. And we'll see you all, okay?
Tough one for the Turks here tonight. 3-1 loss to Covington closes them out in the first round of the playoffs, and you know, great season, Joe.
It was fun.
Yeah, definitely,
No doubt.
definitely was fun. But in the end, you've got to be good. You've got to be lucky. You got to come up with the plays when you need to. And the underdogs have been doing it in the Valley League playoffs. I think the Turks, as the 3 seed, are the highest seed to win the Valley League championship in about 7 or 8 years.
Only one of the high seeds won in the first round. Charlestown same
Just
game as the
one.
final. So
that same trend is
Charlestown, we get to have a
continuing.
home team. We'll get to they're on the road team in the first round. They get to be a host team in the final, and the chances are high. Not necessarily high, but they have a good chance of being able to host another for the championship too with Strasburg.
Definitely do. It's been a fun season working with you. I always
Thank
have
you very much.
always have an intern every summer, and I think that anytime you get someone who's got real baseball knowledge and a desire to you know, dig in, get better, have fun with it. Like I said when I interviewed you, nobody's curing cancer here. We're calling a baseball game, But as you can see with Coach Weiss, you're invested, you're emotional, and you not only want to win, you want to do it the right way, and you want to play good baseball.
Definitely, it's been great. I thank you for bringing me on and teaching me a lot of good things, and hopefully I can bring those in the future. And hopefully I'll be back doing some more broadcasting all the time.
I think
I'll be over there doing you doing Madison and all that stuff, doing football this fall. So.
Yeah, I think that for all of my partners in the last few years, nearly everyone has gone on immediately to have a job with no gap involved, whether it's Paul Disselcone or Lawrence Petrokakis. Some of those different guys immediately moved in to do some broadcasting stuff. So that's good. So that, you just need to shed all the bad habits that watching me will get you,
yes.
and then move on to do something right.
Right.
But I want to thank all of you folks out there in Turks Nation for tuning in all year. We had a heck of a season. Didn't end the way we wanted it to with the sweep of the pennant and the championship, but that becomes the elusive prize here in the Valley League. When somebody does it, it
just makes you more hungry for next year. I know you got to wait 365 days, less than that, but makes you hungry.
It definitely does, and you're going to be.
Bosses are some of the best teachers for a person.
Yeah, it is, and some of the best teams. Michael Jordan didn't win a title until his 8th year in the NBA. People need to be reminded of that. But it is a little frustrating at the time. You can see, Coach Weiss is 70, but had been at this for over 5 decades. Played in the county league at age 13, in the Valley League I think when he was 15 or 16. But just one of those things where for him it's all about the good baseball part of it. Win, lose, or draw, you can stomach a loss if you played and maximized your effort that night. So it is. Joe, I want to thank you. It's been a great season, and I'll probably hit you up next year to see if you got any good candidates that want to interview, because I like to give a shot, the same shot I got when I was a young announcer. People saying, okay, this kid's bright, but let's see what he does behind the mic. As he got the acumen for it and the baseball knowledge. It's an important trend that I'm going to continue. And I'll probably hit you up and say, hey, Joe, that'll be the next segment.
Go grab a sub at the substation, right?
Go grab a sub at the substation. Let's talk about the partner for 2015. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in once again. I'm Dave Norman for Joe Kirkendall. It's been a great season. Matt Weiss got to roll out the video this year. Been supercalifragilistic with you as well. Next summer, we're going to have it all ironed out. Everything's going to be fine. I'll have the voice of Darth Vader subbing for me. It'll be fantastic, as the Turks in 2015 probably going to win another pennant. I put it out there right now.
There you go.
Have a good night, everybody.